an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
As the 0-2 pitch, there's a swing and a ball blasted deep right center, headed back towards the pool. It is gone. Forget the pool. That's in the overhang in right center field. His 23rd homer, and the D-backs take a 1-0 lead.
Well, that was good, but there was a lot of bad as another one slips away. D-backs cough up a 9th-inning lead as the Padres steal the series here in Phoenix. We'll break it all down, the collapse, the closer crisis, and where Arizona goes from here. Next, Will Hernandez has officially re-signed with the Arizona Cardinals. Those are the two topics that we'll dive in today as we're out here at the Twin Peaks Deer Valley, which is just off the 17 and 25th, 26th Street, or Avenue, I should say. And we'll be here till 4 o'clock as this is the place if you're getting ready for your draft party. That's right, drafts. People are getting ready for draft parties as you can draft your fantasy team here at Twin Peaks. Ice cold 29-degree beers, wall-to-wall TVs. You got the eats, you got the scenic views. It's all here. And commissioners, they score a $50 bonus card plus $5 for every drafter at the lodge. So lock it in. You can stop at any of the 5 locations, or you can go to twinpeaksrestaurants.com/fantasy draft. So stop by Twin Peaks, your ultimate draft day destination. Well, let's start with this Diamondback team as once again, something that we've talked about quite a bit over the course of the last year, something we're going to dive into a lot today when it comes to the fate of one Torey Lovullo and make a case for or against him coming back to be on the bench for this Diamondbacks team. But you look at the series, guys, Arizona led for 20 of the 29 innings in the series, but still lost. And it's something that it just hasn't changed. It wasn't addressed during the trade deadline because this team was so bad. I mean, they've been at it since April. But if you listen to the show on a daily basis, you would say, wow, Manuch thinks they still got a shot.
Facetiously said that.
No, you did not say that.
I was very facetious.
No, you weren't.
I said, so you're saying they got a shot.
Crap.
So they're saying you got a shot. Well, I want to say this. I said this team, you look at a lot of the categories for this Diamondback team. It's all about their bullpen. When you really look at it, it's their bullpen. They can't close. And the other nemesis, the Achilles heel that they have. Yeah, they got 2 Achilles heels. It's a bullpen. And they just can't, number one, they can't get the clutch hits they need. Runners in scoring position, one of the worst in Major League Baseball. They're below average. So there's this team that's solid as far as hitting, fielding. They just can't close the game, and they just basically can't get the clutch hitting that they need if they're going to make any kind of a move.
So you recap last night. You heard the home run by Corbin Carroll, which was a 443-foot bomb.
Mm-hmm.
That led in the first inning 1-0. Second inning, they added another run, so they're up 2-0. Fifth inning onward, the offense just went silent. 4 total hits the entire night. And then the ninth inning collapse. You got Kyle Backus, who came in, who pitched a couple innings on Monday night, so he was gassed. He gives up the game-winning a home run, that is. And then Jose Iglesias drove in the go-ahead run for San Diego. Padres win 3-2. They did make a little bit of an effort late in that game in that 9th inning. They had a guy on base, but they couldn't get him in. But again, no closer. It sucks.
Yeah.
It just sucks to watch this team.
Why are you we knew that was going to be the case.
I know, but I'm wasting my time watching this
Okay.
last night.
Okay.
Watching it. Saying, all right, this team's up 2-0, 2-1, and then the damn bullpen.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear someone saying Backus has thrown a 6-hour save on Monday, so he's now gassed.
Oh, stop.
That's full of crap. I'm
I'm
tired of people saying that these players pitched on Tuesday.
Right.
Monday, and it's Wednesday. And he pitched 2 innings and he's gassed.
The thing
the broadcasters are saying that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Roc. I said, this kid should be able to throw, 9 innings in a week if he has to. I was sitting there watching this game going, okay, here they are, they're up, and you go, at some point, something's going to happen. I'll tell you what the key was when Blaze Alexander had that error at third base. You turn a double play, you're out of the inning.
That was the potential.
That was it.
Ending DP.
Double play.
And unfortunately, that forced Lovullo to burn back early.
Why does this look any different than before the trade?
Doesn't. There's nothing else to talk about today.
That's it. Well,
what else is there to talk about?
No.
Let's be honest. It's a bad Diamondbacks team.
It is a bad Diamondbacks
with
team.
Close to 50 games remaining.
Yes. And
that's why we're talking about.
And they're going to fall off the planet. That's
we got
what they're
preseason football coming.
Yeah.
We are in the dog days of summer. There's nothing else to talk about.
The thing that I found interesting about last night's game, and normally when something like this happens, I text Manuch, right? 10 o'clock
Glad you
at
don't
night.
Text me.
No, I don't. I know you're asleep.
I am not asleep.
I text Manuch at 10 o'clock.
We don't want to bother you, Rock, beyond 10 o'clock.
No, don't bother me after 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so I didn't text him last night. We laughed about that when we got here today to Twin Peaks and Deer Valley. That I didn't do it because Manuch said to me when I walked in the door, I knew they were going to lose it last night. I just didn't know exactly how they were going to lose.
And I think that the thing is, it's very sad that you just know that this team, when they get a lead, that when you have to rely on your bullpen, day in and day out, it's sad that you got all of a sudden your chances of losing or somebody tying you, it's probably going to be beyond probably 60, 65%. You're going to lose, somebody's going to catch up. Now, if they turn to double play, they're out of the inning. They might have won this game, might have won this series versus the Padres, who are in the hunt right now to win the National League West. They're secured as a wild card. We know that. But they're still in the hunt to win the National League West, which tells you either this Diamondback team is just a couple of bullpen pitchers away from being contenders next year, or they're not. So there's that debate that there's a lot there that you can say, or Padres just kick it in when they have to. But there's a couple roads you can go down.
Well, I'm going down the road that they're not any good. That's the road that I'm going down. And
so something we will dive into with that being said, Jimmy, is has Torey Lovullo earned the right to finish his contract? Of course, he got the extension after the World Series.
Right.
Or is it time for the D-backs to hit the reset button? And I'm in favor. This is a strange take, and I'll just tease it, but I think they keep him, but not as a manager.
Ooh, wow. Interesting.
Wait, they move him into the front office?
9 years here.
Yeah.
You keep him there. You put him in the front office.
Yeah.
The guy's a great guy, community guy.
He is.
He's part of this community. I think he's somebody that you just need a new voice, a new approach to how this team plays on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's interesting. Look at the last 3 years, lighting the ball with the World Series, good for them. Last year, they should have made the playoffs. They lose it the last day. This year, things fell apart. Is it the injuries?
Yes.
But when you have, not necessarily, when you look at a lot of the stats, we'll get into it.
Injuries, yes, Manuch.
Injuries,
you
yes.
Can't say not necessarily.
You
I
can't
get it.
walk away from that.
I get it. No, I get it. I understand that that's been a major part.
Huge.
But when you look at that, they've been in a chance where they've had a chance to win games. They've had a chance to win games, but the way they've won them or the way they've lost them is what I have a question mark with. Is that managing? If you're not getting the help like you did earlier on with the bullpen, okay, hopefully it gets worked out. That's a Mike Hazen thing. When I look at it overall, I go, okay, despite the injuries, major factor. But did Torey Lovullo keep them hanging around in some areas? Now they're starting to fade, but they have been in games aside from the 9-game series after the St. Louis Cardinals game. They had that slump.
Here's the thing that they have lost when you referenced injuries, Rock. Not only did they lose starting pitching, they lost their freaking bullpen as well.
Closer.
They lost their Ginkle's on the 60 days.
2 closers.
He's done.
2 closers.
AJ Puck gone. Ramirez gone. I mean, all these guys who were penciled in to be the bullpen are not pitching. So they've gone to AA and AAA guys who are not good yet.
They bring up the Casey guy yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's I'm surprised he's still playing baseball. I mean, his numbers are not good. I hope he gets an opportunity, and maybe over the next 5 weeks, 6 weeks if he's here. But man, you can just watch him play, watch him pitch when he came in. I'm like, I can hit it off him.
Yeah. Well, and also Woodford, fortunately he survived the night before he struggled. But I look at that and I go, okay, so with all those injuries, they played decent baseball, but some of the things that I think of are a lot of the gaffes on the bases, the errors, not moving runners. I haven't seen them play small ball hardly at all. They actually bunted last night. I was glad to see
they did
bunting a runners over, which was great to see Thomas do that. But I just haven't seen enough juice, whether injuries or not, enough juice on the base paths and moving guys along like they did last year. Last year, they were a lot of steals, a lot of hit and run. But for some reason, you're not seeing that same kind of baseball overall, despite the injuries and despite what they haven't done.
So they're off today. Then they have a 3-game set with the Rockies at Chase Field. And Colorado is 30-84. Just got outscored. Listen to this. 45-6 in a series with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Whoa, man.
Well, that sounds like the Diamondbacks, their 9-game stretch.
Well, who's in first place in the AL East? The Toronto Blue Jays.
They're a good baseball.
They are a good team.
Real quick, we're going to stay with baseball, but just want to make just a quick mention to Will Hernandez, who the Cardinals have re-signed the offensive lineman to a 1-year deal. A lot of talk yesterday that it was going to come down. Officially came down by the team today. Of course, he tore his ACL in Week 5 last season. He's been cleared to action following his rehab. So while he's officially part of the team again, he will be on the PUP.
Right, the pup.
So he'll be there for a while, and then we'll see over time. I mean, this guy has started all 35 games since he came to the Cardinals.
So hopefully he gets healthier sooner rather than later. I don't know if it's 4 games, he'll miss the first 4, whatever that's going to be. So the PUP, if they feel he's ready to come off of that, I think he's got a 2-week leeway somewhere in there. But I really feel that's a good sign to bring him back. I think what they wanted to do is just make sure that he was far enough along with that ACL that they feel comfortable to re-sign him, or sign him, I should say, bring him back and make him part of this team, hopefully in the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
All right, so the bullpen's leaking, the defense is shaky, and the margin of error is gone. We're going to break down the good, the bad, and the ugly from last night's collapse at Chase Field. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, wait till you hear what Shohei Ohtani did. The man's not a human. That's next, right here, Roc and Manuch, GB.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers bring more air for less money. Rust-free, USA built, backed by over 40 years of cooling expertise. Available now at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, and Northern Tool. For more information, go to staycool-products.com. Stay Cool Products. Form, function, value. Get yours today and beat the heat.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Remember when things were built to last? Well, at Arizona Patio Furniture, we've been handcrafting premium outdoor furniture and custom cushions for over 15 years, right here in Phoenix, using 100% American-made materials. We build it, we sell it, we guarantee it with our exclusive 5-year-plus worry-free warranty. Visit any one of our 3 Valley showrooms or go to ArizonaPatioFurniture.com. Mention this ad for free delivery and setup in Maricopa County. Arizona Patio Furniture. Some things are still made like they used to be.
Get hurt in the game, we tough it out. Feel exhausted, we push on. Feeling down, we pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Family. Family. Family.
Family is everything.
Family is with us through all of life's great moments.
And for the past 100 years, Shriners Children's has become family to over 1.5 million kids.
In tough times and good times, they're there when we need them most.
It's so good to know that we have a family who cares enough to stand by our side.
Please go online right now to loveshriners.org.
My neighbor invited me to a Wounded Warrior Project event. I didn't know what to expect, but it felt like everyone understood me. We got each other. So I got more involved. I joined support groups with other women warriors, and it helped me realize a new purpose in my life.
Through our hands-on programs, supportive community, and ongoing advocacy, we help post-9/11 veterans realize what's possible. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Now it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Roc decides to add. Let's get to it in replay rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
All right, D-backs led 20 of the 29 innings. Still lost the series. We talked about it from the outset. Bullpen's leaking. Mistakes are mounting. Now Torey Lovullo is out of answers, clearly. We're going to break down the good, the bad, the ugly from what is, I think, a gut punch loss, and basically is what this season's been all about. Losing those type of games.
The nail in the coffin right there.
And then you'll want to hear what Shohei Ohtani did last night. So let's go with the good, and we'll start with the starter who came out playing pretty good. Here is the 4 strikeouts.
Much better time of it tonight. He rings up Merrill on that changeup, and it's a 1-2-3 first for Anthony DeSclafani. Oh, he just dropped the baby sweeper in there. Just a little bunny sweep for his second strikeout. And he throws a beauty of a changeup right there and gets his 3rd strikeout.
That's the split finger grip you see right there, the tumbling rotation straight down toward the ground.
Swing and a miss. Oh, he threw some nice changeups in that at bat. He has Machado frustrated. 4 strikeouts for DeSclafani.
So DeSclafani looked sharp, no walks, 4 punch outs, kept the Padres scoreless through 4. I got to ask CC back in the ESPN studios, was that San Diego's play-by-play? Because that did not sound like Bob Brenly and
Berthio.
Gargiola. Who was that?
Well,
that sound was messed up.
That was from the MLB TV there. I'm not sure exactly who was on the broadcast.
Because I think it's our team.
It is.
But the sound was so
slow,
messed up.
Yeah. It's that's Berthium and Brenly.
It was Berthium.
Yeah, and Brenly.
You wouldn't know it.
Yeah, it was. It's like a slow motion.
Let's see if it sounds the same when Corbin Carroll hits a solo home run right here.
As the 0-2 pitch. There's a swing and a ball blasted. Deep right center. Headed back towards the pool. It is gone! Forget the pool. That's in the overhang in right center field. His 23rd homer, and the D-backs take a 1-0 lead.
All right. That was the radio broadcast. One before was a Channel 34 or MLB broadcast.
Well, that would have been our team. That would have been Berthium.
Yes, yeah. So we got Berthium, then you got Garagiola.
All right, let's go to the bad. Why don't you fire off the first bad one when they broke through in the 7th, that being the Padres.
As the 1-1, that is punished towards the left field corner. If it's fair, it's gone. And that is right of the foul pole, a solo homer. Bogarts is 9th. And just like that, the lead cut in half. It's now 2-1 Diamondbacks.
That Bogarts, man, what a name.
What a player.
You know what Bogarting is?
Yeah, Bogart.
You know what Bogart is?
Yeah.
See, Jimmy's laughing because he's from the Northwest.
Yeah.
He's a closet stoner probably. So Bogart is somebody that would just take it and not give it to anybody else.
That's right.
So
just remember, puff, puff, pass.
Yeah. We always say, don't be Bogarting whatever.
You just said you didn't know what it was. You were so full of crap.
I said yes. You guys never let me answer.
No, you didn't.
You said no. You said you know.
Jimmy. I know you.
Time out. We're gonna sell this right here. You said you know what Bogart is.
You said no.
No, I said yes, I do. I said yes. You didn't let me answer. I said yes. It's when you start to Bogart, meaning you take it, you don't hand things off, or you grab it off for yourself. Okay. That's Bogart. I'm always saying, don't Bogart it.
But
you Bogart about.
I'm talking about a joint.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about taking, too much of the peanuts in the
I never enters my mind.
You know.
It never enters my mind. I didn't have to bogart the joint.
Just remember, Manuch, puff, pass.
I never inhale.
All right, here's Ryan O'Hara in a solo homer, which tied the game 2-2.
1-1. There's a swing and a hard hit ball to deep right field. Carroll's going back, looking up. We're tied. Ryan O'Hearn gets his 14th home run of the season, but his first home run as the Padre, and it could not have come at a better time. A game-tying shot, and we are tied at 2.
Gut punch.
Yeah.
You know, in the inning before when he was up, he hit a bomb foul.
Mm-hmm.
He
way
did,
up.
yeah.
And you went, well, this kid's due for his first home run with the Padres. And sure enough, he golfed that bad boy out there. He got his pitch and took it deep just like that. Tied up.
And here's the ugly.
3-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit right field. It'll flutter in front of Carroll. Bogarts will score, and the Padres take a 3-2 lead.
Game, set, series.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be.
All right, just for the hell of it, Connor, play the first cut, and let's just see. Let's just listen to the sound again. Oh no, if it's
much better time of it tonight. He rings up Merrill on that changeup, and it's a 1-2-3 first for Anthony DeSclafani.
Play a whole game.
Sweeper in there, just a little bunny sweep for his second strikeout. He throws a beauty of a changeup right there and gets his third strikeout.
That's the split finger grip you see right there, the tumbling rotation straight toward the ground.
I think they're both bogarting there. All right, let's get into what the manager had to say, Torey Lovello, after the game.
Yeah, those are the margins that I'm talking about. We can't make mistakes like that. We've been making some mistakes on the bases. I talked to you guys about our potential for being a little bit more aggressive and playing that style of baseball because we're getting a little more athletic. But with Cattell coming up, that's the right spot for him to just sit still. And if he can get there standing up, I'm fine with it. But it was a good play by a team that plays good defense, and we got to be a little bit more careful there. So those are the margins. That's what I'm talking about. That. The ball at third base, I know it's a tough play, a little handsy play for Blaze, but he's been fantastic at third base. We turned a double play to end the 8th. I think we're in a different space in the 9th inning.
All right, so there's your D-backs, your good, your bad, your ugly from last night's collapse. All right, we got a little bonus here. Shohei Ohtani gave the Dodgers everything he had Wednesday night. It still wasn't enough. They ended up losing, but he made his first start in weeks on the mound. He was electric, striking out 8 Cardinals over 4 innings, allowing just 1 earned run on 2 hits and 0 walks. He struck out the side in the 4th inning. 97-mile-an-hour nasty splitters, just vintage Ohtani. And then at the plate, he launched a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 3rd, his 32nd of the year, which was his 1,000th hit of his career, putting LA in front at the time. But we'll play two bits for you here. By the way, before he left, the Dodgers bullpen gave it away. So something very similar to us Diamondback fans know what happens there. So here's Shohei Ohtani with his 2-run homer in the bottom of the 3rd.
Smacks one in the air. Deep center field. Scott going back. Forget about it. It's gone. Halfway up the pavilion. The Dodger pitcher launches a massive home run. His 39th this year. You know,
39.
You would think when he said
32nd.
Yeah,
I apologize.
The Dodger pitcher. It sounds funny.
I know. I was going to say something. Yeah. It's like, all right.
But it's not with him.
Well, here is the Dodger pitch. Here is the Dodger pitcher striking out the side in the 4th.
Another 1-2. Another strikeout. Easton. He does the same here. Hit a home run and strike out 8 in 4 innings.
One thing you look at is we talk about the Diamondback pitchers, how many pitches they throw. 4 or 5, 6 innings. They're up to 85, 90, 95. He's just 4 innings. He only threw 54 pitches. Well, 37 strikes. Effectiveness. Why is it a stud like that? Is it just the catching, the calling the plays, or our guys are trying to be too fine with it? It's amazing to me.
He's a
unicorn.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an alien. He's not human. He's not real.
I agree.
You can't compare Shohei Ohtani to
but I'm saying,
Diamondbacks pitching staff.
As far as the amount of pitches, Rock, I'm trying to tell you, 54 4 innings, that's
but
damn
Ohtani's
good.
at such a different level.
I get
than
it.
Everybody else.
I know, but as far as throwing strikes, in command, that's another thing.
Just tells you that the pitching staff the Diamondbacks have can't throw strikes.
Or there's a different philosophy. There's a different philosophy as far as where you're putting the
got
ball.
a new pitching coach this year.
Yeah.
Well, that hasn't worked out.
It hasn't. Injuries, pitches are way up compared to what they should be. Way up.
All right, that's our replay rewind from Twin Peaks. It's brought to you today by Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. All right, the NFL Red Zone you love isn't changing, but ESPN now owns the name, and the NFL just bought 10% of ESPN. What's the business play? We'll catch up with the sports professor Rick Horrow next. But first, here's Matt with your Twin Peaks ESPN 620 updates.
It's time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Diamondbacks dropped another close one last night, falling 3-2 to the Padres after giving up 2 runs late for another costly loss. They have an off day today before starting a 3-game set against the Colorado Rockies at Chase Field. Meanwhile, football is back. The Arizona Cardinals opened their preseason Saturday against the Kansas City Chiefs, and head coach Jonathan Gannon says the starters will play, giving fans their first look at the 2025 squad. Draft your fantasy team where the real MVPs are at Twin Peaks. Ice-cold 29-degree beer, wall-to-wall TVs, legendary eats, and scenic views. This is how you fantasy draft. Commissioners, score a $50 bonus card plus $5 for every drafter at the Lodge. Lock in your draft party now at twinpeaksrestaurant.com/fantasy draft. Or better yet, just stop into one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks.
Ready to hit Lake Pleasant the right way? West Side Recreation has your perfect day on the water. From Bluetooth speakers and tow bars to floating mats, tubes, full shade, and all the safety gear. Use code ESPN and get 15% off your rental right now. Whether you want to relax or ride wild, just bring the sunscreen. We've got the rest. Book today at westsideaz.com. West Side Recreation. We rent fun.
This summer, escape the heat and head to Backyard Desert Ridge, where Valley sports fans go to play. Catch every big moment on 4 massive 10 by 18-foot LED screens and over 40 HD TVs. Fuel up with wings, nachos, and 45-plus beers or cocktails on tap. Then keep the party going with live DJs and reverse happy hour specials. And this fall, it's Forks Up at Backyard, your go-to spot to catch every Sun Devil football game all season long. Reserve your table now at BackyardUSA.com.
All right, folks, here we go. 3rd and long, and your old underwear just got blitzed again. Sweaty, bunched up, riding high. That's a wardrobe malfunction, and you cannot coach through that. But hold everything. Chill Boys enters the game. Cool, breathable bamboo boxers, smooth as a perfectly executed 2-minute drill. I slipped on a pair and bam, total comfort in the pocket, even in the Arizona heat. I've called a lot of clutch performances in my day, and I'm calling it right now. Chill Boys is the MVP of underwear. We've all made the switch here at ESPN 620, and trust me, you should too. Head to chillboys.com, use code ESPN, and get 20% off your first order. That's chillboys.com. Folks, this is a game changer. You cannot afford to fumble.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Don't miss exclusive conversations with Derek Hall, Tori Lavello, Mike Hazen, and more weekly on Arizona Sports. D-backs decision makers from the team's front office join Wolf and Luke Wednesday mornings at 11:45. Team president Derek Hall joins Bakley and Murata Thursday mornings at 7:45. The skipper joins Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30. Never miss another D-backs conversation when you subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel. Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app, the local sports leader and the home of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball.
Time to talk about the business side of sports. Leading expert in the business of sports, author of the new bestseller, The Sport Business Handbook, host of Power of Sports, and architect of over 100 deals worth billions in sports, the sports professor Rick Horrow joins Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, ESPN had a monster week. They bought the Red Zone brand from the NFL, signed a $1.6 billion deal with WWE, and they now own 10% of ESPN, that being NFL. A lot of moves in just a few days, but the question to the sports professor, with ESPN buying the Red Zone brand, locking in WWE, and now the NFL now owning a stake, what does this mean for ESPN moving forward, Rick? Are they reshaping their identity? Are they going away from true sports content to more under their real name, entertainment? Are they going to have lead stories on SportsCenter or WWE?
I think it's job security for some select local affiliate talk show wags. That's what I think.
Amen. Amen, brother.
But seriously, I mean, when you look at this, Rick, I mean, there's some pros and cons with this, especially when it comes to journalism, integrity, and all that other BS. But I look at Fox and CNN kind of owning the news category, and then you got Newsmax and guys like that are trying to compete, and like Netflix owns everything, and then there's Prime and Hulu. Is there ever going to be anybody that can compete with ESPN and give them a little run for their money?
Well, the biggest issue, I guess that's one of the issues, the branding of it. It's a pretty expensive reason unless the content were mixed with storytelling and there is a value to the long-term survival and thriving of streaming, which of course it will. But you remember years ago when we were talking about, as you would put it, journalistic ethics and all that crap, I think you put it, and it really kind of mattered at the time. And when John Miller, who you may remember was Mark Lazarus's and Dick Ebersol's number 2 at NBC, made a move on behalf of the company to buy the celebrity golf tournament in Tahoe and basically create it from the ground up. Man, was there a furor about, networks can't own the events they televise or something wrong with that. Well, that certainly nothing wrong with that. ESPN, even before this, has owned, almost every owned or operated almost every college bowl on the planet, as you know, except maybe for the Sun Bowl and a couple others they kind of dish out. And there has been no line separating content from equity ownership. And we've muddled through the responsibilities after some disclosure by everybody saying, well, we own this event, and then you start trashing it or not. But I think the bigger issue is long-term streaming, bundling. You'll be able to get everything. And your point is a good one, that storytelling has driven a lot of the day, especially with Netflix and the old, Dick Ebersol, tell the story. That's very important. And I think it's not just the old 30 for 30 NBC, ESPN. It's in their DNA. And now it becomes a whole new level.
So, Rick, what will things change? NFL Network, I'm sure, will stay the same. I think Roc's alluding to is the monopolization of football, whether it be college or pro. But from a standpoint of the regular consumer, I mean, can we still go to our particular ESPN spots or platforms and find it, or will they expand even more so via the streaming? And will you need some kind of a guide to go find your favorite game eventually?
Well, it depends on who you are. Some of us have trouble finding, the 4 stations that we used to have 30 years ago. Right. But now one of the real issues is making it easier for consumers to find. Now if you go into hotels and they all have the smart TV apps where you can all connect with Netflix, et cetera, with your own devices, even at hotels. And it's coming to make it one-stop shop for a consumer. You got to do that, or people are going to get turned off just because they'll find it difficult to find. So I think the answer is an obvious yes. It's going to be, I think, much easier to find long term. I think if the programming guys at ESPN have their way, you're going to be able to log on to the ESPN app, how much that'll cost you on a monthly basis, but you're going to be able to find everything, everywhere, everything, every story, every event, and they're just getting started.
Rick, there are so many streaming offerings as we speak right now, and some of them are now beginning to invest heavily into sports. Will we see in the next couple years where some of those streaming who cannot invest in sports start to fall away, or are they always going to have content?
Well, I think the answer is a slightly different question. I think there's going to be a lot more consolidation. The falling away is only for the really weakest. I think the buying up is more like what people are really looking to do. So are we going to go back to traditional bundles? No, but you may have a smaller number of vertically integrated networks, packages, offerings that offer a whole lot. We're alluding to it. If you look at Peacock, Paramount, ESPN, the Fox networks, it's all an opportunity to make sure that when you latch onto one because of something you like, you're going to be directed to the following 38.
Rick Horrow joining us here, the sports professor here on ESPN 620 Phoenix. So what do you think their position is moving forward when it comes to being objective? If something goes down in the NFL, they're not going to call out Roger Goodell. They're partners. How can you partner and still be a watchdog?
Wow, there's a journalistic question we haven't heard in a while. Which one of the three of you losers talked about ethics or that other kind of crap? I can't tell your voices anymore. When you introduced that
This is Roc. This is the
4
one
minutes
that
ago,
this
that'd be Roc.
This is the former PR guy. This is the former sports marketing guy. This is the one that this deal is former. Yeah.
He's the only voice that really counts.
Yes, these guys get it because I write the checks.
Oh,
so you know how this works, right?
Jimmy, it depends on how you define count. I mean, I'm not quite sure that really is true.
I resemble that
Come
remark.
on, man. What are you talking about?
I mean, come on. We talk about fake news every day in our world. This is going to be fake news with ESPN in the National Football League.
Well, yeah, but I mean, is it any? It is, I guess, a bit different if the ESPN had commitments to the bowl games almost on an exclusive basis, and you talk about the bowl championship series and all of the other bowls as if they're the second coming, and it's because ESPN has the contracts, and it's not just this ESPN deal. I think the whole idea of the merger between sports, entertainment, television, media, new media, streaming media, makes that question really difficult, makes the line more difficult than otherwise. And I think, it's not making sure that you're objective, because it's going to be difficult. You're right. But it's also, full disclosure that everybody needs to understand who owns what, and that's going to be more and more difficult over time.
So, Rick, I want to add to this. I used to love when you had an option from SportsCenter, when you had Fox Sports and the Fox Sports Network and what they were doing in each market. We had Fox Sports Arizona, and we had, they had a national 11 o'clock show or 10 o'clock show, because I think there's a lot of people like me. We're sitting at Twin Peaks, and, there's WNBA talk show right now, and then there's WWE, and I don't want to see that. And we don't have options right now unless you're going to get on your mobile device. And some of us don't want to be on our mobile device. Some of us want to sit on the couch, and we want to watch cable, we want to watch DirecTV, we want to watch our streaming services, and we want multiple sports outlets. Why aren't the guys in the suits seeing that? Why isn't NBC and Fox stepping up and creating a platform to go after these guys and get a slice of it?
Well, the answer is the suits are evaluating it, but I'm afraid the numbers are going the other way. You listen and you watch NBC as well. Remember, they had national shows also on the NBC Sports Network. It hadn't been that long since NBC Sports Washington and NBC Sports Boston, and now they're gone. There are three of them left, and you take the same deal with Fox, and all I'm saying, CBS Sports Network has shows. We just don't watch it as much. So the national sports show generally, as much as I love to be on them because my stuff is mostly national in any event, doesn't resonate with the average fan as much as the local fan. And your point is different strokes for different folks. You may be watching, but I don't think, unfortunately, and I really mean it this way, I don't think the numbers support you.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So, Rick, this is far-fetched as it sounds. Could you see ESPN eventually someday taking over NBC Sports, CBS Sports? They already have ABC Sports, per se. Could you see a day where they take those over to be part of this ESPN mega platform?
Yeah, well, you could say the Justice Department and antitrust are going to protect us, but that's not going to be the case. No. I think the end of the day is that all of these, let's say the four Titans right now, they're large. They're part of a much larger organization where they have a capital structure that almost guarantees their ability to be self-sufficient if they want to continue to be. So, Paramount and CBS are tied at the hip. NBC and Comcast are tied at the hip. Fox is vertically integrated. So I'm sure the four sets of executives go to bed at night trying to figure out how to take over the other three, but it's not that easy.
Rick, last one, and we thank you for your time as always. With the Red Zone brand now with ESPN, and you mentioned ESPN and college football and how they are so tied together, does this open the door for college football Red Zone?
Of course it does. Wouldn't you want to watch college football Red Zone? I mean,
absolutely. Start it next week. Yes.
Yeah, start it next week. I mean, it's going to be it's going to take a little longer.
Yeah.
But there are people that are planning it, and at the end of the day, when you watch your Sirius dial, there are stations that have gone to college football live cut-ins 24/7, and I usually like to kind of turn down the television volume and listen to the radio. It's kind of like what I do when I listen to you. I turn you down, although you have no TV. So if I turn you down, I'm out of luck.
Well, we're on YouTube. If you can watch us, I mean, you can go on YouTube right now and search Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B, ESPN Phoenix,
and watch you live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 24/7. Hey,
so what do you?
We're ESPN. Remember, we're buying everything. We're buying everything.
Do you have my picture up when we're on?
Your picture is up right now. Yes,
we do.
Let me look at. Yes, you're up right now. You look good, man.
The old one when I look like I'm 18.
Well, no. As Manuch would say, that tie, it'll come back.
Oh my God! All right. On that note, get out of my face. I'll talk to you next week.
See you, buddy. That's Rick Horrow, the sports professor here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Follow him on X at Rick Horrow. Plus, he does so much national stuff.
He does
on so many different platforms. We appreciate you hanging out with us. As we just mentioned, we're on YouTube. We're on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, even TuneIn. Up next, college football. Camp Tonazona, it's rocking with ASU. NAU they're gearing up for that. 11 NFL scouts that were there yesterday. And we're going to get a little update from what's going on down in Tucson. And a freshman at Ohio State is already chasing records. Football at 50 is next.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Attention golf lovers and putting enthusiasts. Are you ready to elevate your game? At Putting World, we've got cutting-edge technology that'll have you sinking putts like a pro. With high-tech simulators and expert coaches, you'll be on your way to mastering that tricky 6-footer in no time. Check us out at puttingworld.com. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or a newbie who thinks a hole-in-one is just a fancy donut, there's a place for you at Putting World. Eat it, drink it, sink it. Putting World.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose is the way to go.
Attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Turner and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Turner and Rose is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Beat the heat with AC Experts. Is your air conditioning ready for summer? Don't sweat it. Our certified technicians are here to keep your home cool and comfortable. From routine maintenance to emergency repairs, we've got you covered. Enjoy staycations in a perfectly chilled home. For a limited time, take advantage of our special discounts on new AC installations. Call AC Experts today at 480-386-6980 or visit acexpertsaz.com to schedule your appointment. Stay cool, Arizona.
Did you buy a lemon? If you've had repairs under warranty, your vehicle may qualify as a lemon under the Arizona Lemon Law. Don't let them give you the runaround. You're not on your own. The law is on your side, and so am I. Hi, this is Henry with Hammer Law, Arizona's lemon law firm. Enforce your rights under the Arizona Lemon Law. Call Henry and drop the hammer. Call 480-480-1014 or check us out at hammerlemonlaw.com. That's hammerlemonlaw.com.
Craving a mouth-watering lunch that won't drain your wallet? Rush to Venezia's Pizzeria for daily specials starting at just $8.48. Sink your teeth into 2 giant loaded specialty pizza slices or a massive New York-style slice with a crisp, fresh salad, both with a drink and under $10. Dine in, grab it to go, or hit Venezia's.com. Forget bland fast food. Indulge in bold flavors at Venezia's. 7 Valley locations where family tradition delivers irresistible value. Venezias.com.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
3 balls and 2 strikes. The overshift is on, and Bassick deals. And Bonds hits it high. It's a dig. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone. He is on top of the all-time home run list.
Yep. On this day in 2007, was in the 5th inning, his 556th career home run, passing Hank Aaron, as you know. But the question is usually out there, who did he hit it off of? And that's Mike Bassick from the Washington Nationals. He did it at AT&T Park. All right, on this day, as we do each and every day at this time, the Dream Team wins the Olympic gold. Of course, Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, they beat Croatia 117-85 in the Barcelona Olympics. It was the first Olympic Games that featured the NBA players. Greg Maddux on this day in 2004 was the 22nd pitcher in MLB history to win his 300th game. And in Canton, they welcomed Jerry Rice and Emmitt Smith. All right, let's get to football at 50 a little early because we have a lot to get into. Let's start with Arizona State and what is going on there. Some news is their preseason at Camp T is underway. Got some position battles going on there. 11 NFL scouts from 10 teams were in attendance. That's the most since Kenny Dillingham has taken over as they prepare for NAU on Saturday, August 30th on Frank Cush Field. That game will be live on ESPN+. But Camp T, it looks like from everything you're seeing on the local news, these guys are having fun up there.
Yeah, and
I think that's cool.
It's a good getaway to kind of just focus on football, and that's about it. Limited cell service, which is good. Matter of fact, I don't think Kenny allows them. He may have a certain time where he allows their cell use, but get away. Those bunks, there's 8 bunks per little cabin that they have there, and just get your focus and get your mind right. And I really love how he did that last year, did it this year. And talking about the scouts before they went up to Camp T, when you have the kind of guy like Sam Levitt and some of the other guys, Jordan Tyson, those kind of guys on this roster, there's other guys that have really pretty much been residual effects. Those scouts are out there watching. Want to see Levitt. Will he come out this year? Tyson for sure will probably come out this year. But I think that's a good sign. It tells you you're getting to that first tier of college football, and you have 11 scouts come out for practice.
All right, some love for the Arizona Wildcats as they announced. Oh yeah, Matty's a Wildcat, so we got to give him some love as Tairoa. Did I get that right, McMillan? He continues to make some noise as the Wildcats have announced that he will be part of the Ring of Honor against Hawaii, as well as DB Randy Robbins, and they'll be inducted there on that season opener on the 30th. I'm anxious to see what happens here with this team. They lost 14 seniors, including 5 who declared for the draft and who were drafted.
Yeah, I think that they're going to be part of a quasi-rebuild. What Brett Brennan now has his coaches in place, kind of players he wants. Remember, he came in last year when Coach Fish left. He kind of came in there, with his hair on fire, trying to put his philosophy together. Got rid of a lot of coaches. You look at Noah Fafita, he's really starting to settle down this offense. So I think that they're probably a good year away. They'll be competitive, but I think it's a team that still needs to rebuild, get a few more, guys from the portal, a few more transfers to make any kind of run. And they need to get bigger, stronger, and faster, which they're slowly getting that way.
They are in the Big 12 Conference. The Big 12 Conference has 6, 7, maybe 8 teams that can contend for the top spot. Arizona is not one of those teams.
Well, you said that last year about Arizona State.
We said that we thought they would be better than last. We didn't think they were going to be as great as they were.
Not the conference champs.
Yes, exactly.
I think the challenge here with Arizona State is the hype is so big right now.
It's got to be, Rock. It's got to be.
I understand it, but history tells you that when you have this type of hype, you usually can't hold it. It's not like this is a school that's had a lot of success.
I understand.
And winning Big Ten, or I should say Pac-12 championship. Big Ten.
But wouldn't you rather have it this way than they're going to suck again?
I'm not saying that. I love it. I think it's great.
Okay.
I just think if they were a little lower on the top 25.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think Texas Tech's going to win the Big 12. Hands down.
I think what Kenny's biggest, I don't say the issue or challenge is keeping these guys grounded. Keeping these guys up, making sure everybody's ready to go. You lose Cam Scatteraboo. There's a couple of defensive starters. He's got his work cut out for him.
I agree. It's easier to kind of light a match under your guys to get them pumped up to play hard.
Yes.
It's hard to kind of turn that fire down.
But the guy they got, Sam Levitt, their quarterback, that's huge to bring him back to lead that charge. And Jordan Tyson as well as a receiver. You got a good group of running backs. So really it's just for him to say, hey, practice it one day at a time like they did last year.
Yeah.
So if they keep that focus, they'll be fine.
Its schedule's favorable.
Very
absolutely.
favorable. Yeah. But last year they were the hunter. This year they are the hunted.
Yeah. All right, little conference realignment update. As this season starts here, before you know it, Delaware and Missouri State, they join the FBS, part of the Conference USA. UMass is back in the MAC. Got some big shifts that'll happen next year with Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Colorado State, as well as UTEP. That'll all move to the Pac-12. The Southland Conference, they extended their media rights with ESPN for 6 more years. This is where I don't know how ESPN can do it. I know they're looking for content, but I don't know how many people are tuning in to see Houston Christian University or McNeese State.
They're all going to be streamed. That's what they're going to be. They're going to be ESPN Plus games, and that's their selling point. ESPN walks into a lower conference like the Southland and says, hey, we'll put you on national. Well, what they're doing is they're going to put you on the stream.
National
But
stream.
the stream still costs money for production.
Yes, they do.
So it's expensive.
It is.
When does it get to the point where ESPN doesn't have enough advertisers? I don't know how they can sustain this. I just don't know how they can do it.
So
billions of dollars.
I know.
And
the rights fees.
And we can dive into this a little later.
Yeah.
You look at what ESPN's doing all throughout the land with all of college football, FBS, FCS. They may get into NAIA Division II. At what point do you just go, ESPN is the new commissioner, TV rights, football rights, whatever, and the NCAA goes away, ESPN formulates its own way of doing business and with the TV.
Well, I think we've said for the last 3, 4, 5 years, ESPN owns college football.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's fine. It's the other stuff. It's tuning into SportsCenter at 8 o'clock at night and watching WNBA highlights and WWE. That's the stuff that I don't want to see. All right, this is a broadcasting first. I think you guys mentioned it yesterday, but I want to mention it again because I think this is so big, especially with what happened yesterday, or I should say Monday night with Kevin Guy. ESPN and the ACC are going to stream real-time audio from the referee in the replay booth.
Wow. I love it.
You're
I love
watching
it.
a Friday night ACC matchup or Saturday primetime matchup on the ACC. You will hear live commentary from the field officials and the command center.
Okay.
That's awesome transparency.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think fans will understand officiating a little bit better.
Well, I think that what they'll is, to your point, Rock, that they go over everything in detail. If it's something that's questionable and they can't come to some kind of a conclusion, then fans will know. I also think, as bizarre as it sounds, with as much FanDuel that's out there, all the gambling that's out there with football, that they say, okay, these guys are actually trying to get it right, and that there's no fix-in, so to speak. Not that there would be, but I think there's that aspect of it as well, too. A lot of folks want to see that.
Do you think with ESPN now being part of the NFL that we'll get to see that, too, in the NFL?
I don't think that's
going to happen.
All right. ESPN's in bed with the NFL. $2.7 billion a year. Super Bowls are coming. Can they still report the truth? Or are they just running PR for the shield? I'm in a pickle. I think I got a unique insider perspective that I want to pass along and kind of stir the pot with you two guys and you as well listening. It's all coming up. Hour number 2 of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We're at Twin Peaks Deer Valley today. By the way, you can host your draft here. Just go to TwinPeaksRestaurants.com or stop at any of the 5 Valley locations. We're on YouTube. You can check us out. Also, Mitch Holthus, the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, will join us at 2:30. Hour number 1's in the book. Hour number 2's coming up. Stick around right here on ESPN 620.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earn.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
Ready to elevate your everyday? Quince has the Luxe Staples Insider Swear By, minus the markup. From 100% European linen styles and 14-karat gold jewelry to gorgeous leather bags and elevated home finds, Quince has it all. And by partnering directly with top artisans and ethical factories, Quince delivers premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Discover everyday luxury without the markup at Quince. Go to quince.com/style upgrade for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/style upgrade.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Seems like back to school happens earlier each year.
First day of school coming in hot.
And this year my kids had massive supply lists.
Folders, notebooks, and pens. Oh, the humanity.
But Staples had everything I needed, with some items just 25 cents.
Watch the small print.
No. My back to school budget was saved by Staples Easy Button.
Everything for school. In stock and as low as 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
In store, online, and on the app. In 23 while supplies last.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. OD's. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell. Next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club. A one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills. Just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, the play-by-play voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, will join us a little bit later this hour. All right, ESPN's in bed with the NFL, $2.7 billion a year. Super Bowls will start coming. Can they still report the truth is a big question. Or are they just running PR for the Shield? I think I have somewhat of a unique perspective, but you guys may agree or not agree. So let me set the table. As you know, Manuch, and you, Jimmy, I've done PR at the college level. I've done it in pro baseball. I've done it for a multi-million-dollar sports and entertainment facility. And I've done a little bit in the NFL. I think I have a good idea how the sausage is made.
I agree, sure.
Yeah. Now, I own my own sports marketing company for the last 25 years. I cut deals, so I understand the business side. But I'm going to pickle in this one because I believe ESPN is way too close to the NFL now. When your media partner becomes your marketing arm, your journalism dies. Now, I'm just going to say it. We live in a world of fake news, filtered narratives. I think we have soft media, personally, at least in this market, compared to being a Philly guy in New York, East Coast, Chicago. Yeah. But when you're ESPN, you're the supposed worldwide leader in sports. You're dropping over $2.7 billion to the National Football League. You're getting Super Bowls. Are we ever going to hear the real stories? I mean, it's a script already written for when it comes to the games. This isn't good for journalism. But when we're going down a road for all this entertainment, if we're going down that road, if it's truly entertainment, what's ESPN stand for? Entertainment Sports Network,
correct.
Programming Network. You know, they just signed a blockbuster agreement with WWE. 5 years, $1.6 billion. That averages $325 million a year. So get ready for WWE updates during Sports Center. Is that something as a sports fan you want to see?
No, not for me.
I don't.
Yeah.
So my question, can ESPN still be a watchdog for the NFL when the NFL is signing their checks? If you guys want to go first, great. Or I can give you my why I think this is bad. It's up to you.
Yeah, enlighten me, Roc, because give me some examples of what road are you going down that they can't tell it like it is because they're serving that they're on the platform for the NFL or ESPN.
You as a former player, NFLPA corruption.
Right, absolutely.
Are they going to be the first to lead that? Owner misconduct. Are they going to call out Kraft like they did when we did with the massage stuff? The racial hiring lawsuits. They won't originate from ESPN. It'll be Fox. It'll be NBC. It'll be somebody else that's giving those stories out. Are they going to continue to protect the Shield? We see domestic violence.
Sure.
We see officiating inconsistency. How about the officiating when it starts costing us the fan from your DraftKings or a game? You look what Kevin Guy happened. I know it's AFL, whatever. It's completely different. But it affected it.
Sure.
I mean, I just think. And then, will they ever grill the commissioner live? I mean, there's a lot of that you could get into. I just think that it's a conflict of interest when you can't be both the watchdog and the business partner.
You're saying they'll lose there'll be lack of integrity because they'll be afraid, number one, to question everything you just said. And then number two, it's like, well, if we do question it, is somebody going to reprimand us? And if it's so blatantly obvious that these guys are towing the company line, then you truly do lose. You're insulting me as a viewer if you guys see that.
Yeah, that's fair. My biggest one of all this, we live in fake news era. I mean, we are all about fake news. We hate it.
Yep.
We hate it. We hate it. We always go to sports because we don't want politics. We don't want all the drama, the pop culture, all that fake news. You don't know what to believe anymore. So this reinforces the narrative that big media can't be trusted.
Yeah, I see where you're going. I don't, Jimmy. That's kind of my whole thing. I see where you're at, Roc, and I
got some counterpoints that I want to hear from Jimmy.
Okay, I will answer what you just said with a local tie-in.
Okay,
it's not the same because we're talking ESPN television, and this is local radio. We are owned by Bonneville, who owns several stations throughout the country. They also own, because they have 3 stations here in the Valley, ESPN, KTAR, and KMVV, okay? What have they done? They have dominated the Valley. They own the broadcast rights to the Cardinals, the broadcast rights for the D-backs, the broadcast rights for the Suns, the broadcast rights to ASU. So what they have done is they have done what a smart general manager or president would do. You eliminate the competition because you own it all. And that's exactly what Bonneville has done. I know it's a smaller scale, but it is similar with what ESPN has done. My point is, they also have shows like ours, like on the mothership as well, that offer up content about those teams. I will say this, I believe these shows, for the most part, are honest in their opinions about all of those teams, which Bonneville lets us do. I have never had a person from Bonneville come to me and say, hey, I didn't like what you said about that player or that team.
And I'll add to that, when we made the jump,
yes,
I had that conversation with a suit, the main suit. And I said, where we were before, we've been pretty critical on one of the local teams here because of our history with this particular organization. And all he said was, hey, you can be critical, just don't go personal.
Yes.
And that's what we've been doing that company line for 8 months now, and we'll continue to do that, even though both Manuch and I and other pundits in this market have the same concerns we do,
right?
That, with particular organizations. So,
is it a fair comparison?
It's somewhat. It is. But the thing that bugs me, and I say this a lot,
okay,
when there is a local story that hits, like a particular player is signed. I understand the agents are calling the ESPN guy, the national guy, but I think it would be cool if the PR staff would give it to Gambo, would give it to Bickley, would give it to Manuch, would give it to whomever.
Right.
It comes from a local level, or give it to Bob McMahon of the Arizona Republic. That's me as the old school PR guy. Granted, I was not at that highest level, but maybe I was AAA.
You were there,
but I was given if I had a Darryl Strawberries coming down to do a rehab with the the Phoenix Firebirds, because he's a San Francisco Giant team. I'm calling Bob McManaman first. I'm not calling a national. Now things have changed. I get it.
Yeah.
They want more bang for their buck. But I'm just old school with it. So I just think when you look at when your biggest sponsor is also your biggest story, the journalism gets benched.
I would agree, Roc.
I don't know if it gets benched or if it gets bend.
Okay, that's fair.
They bend it a little bit, so they are not maybe as harsh with their commentary as before they might have been.
All right, going back to your scenario.
Okay.
If something did hit, let's just use the Michael Bidwell story.
Okay.
That didn't get much play. It did.
It did.
And unfortunately, our sports radio landscape, and we were part of it on another station for a long time.
Yeah.
We kind of went down the road a little bit, but we really didn't go as far as we probably could have. We just don't find that interesting enough to really get into.
We laid out all the allegations.
Yes.
We put it out there.
Yeah, we did that.
And then we just kind of fought it. My perspective on this whole thing, I agree with that main point right there. If I'm watching a game, my whole perspective is, where can I go watch the college games, NFL games, my sports center. I'm kind of structured that way. I got the 4 or 5 things I'm going to do, NBA basketball, college basketball, whatever. But the one thing you alluded to, when I'm getting bombarded with stuff I don't want to see, I don't care about, and it's force-fed, I'm like, guys, get to the highlights. Get to the football. I respect that other area. But for me, it's getting to the point where there's 4 or 5 different platforms I got to find this or that. I'm the kind of guy that's like, let's keep it simple, stupid. That's my whole thing. Now, to your point, and yours too, Jimmy, if I'm watching a game and it's blatantly obvious, or I'm watching a panel, I'm watching something that is really cowing down to ESPN and NFL, I'm going to say, you know what, you're losing me because you're not telling me like it is, and I know what like it is. Give your opinion. Now, will Stephen A. Smith's opinion be watered down now on the NFL? I mean, I get what you're saying. So
that's my concern.
Yeah. As a former player and a guy, I love watching football. I love watching sports. If I'm hearing that and seeing that, I'm like, you're losing me as a viewer, guys, because you're not telling it like it is.
And
you're
guys,
insulting my intelligence.
I hate going back to the political aspect of it, but we are all different politically. Either in the middle, we're on the right, or on the left, right? But we all know if someone's watching Fox, they are conservative. If somebody's watching CNN, they are liberal.
More
for the most
liberal,
case.
yeah.
Yes. So, and now I just don't want that to get to the point where if they are getting as big as they're getting, and they are talking NFL, and they have their agenda with the NFL, it's always going to be that way. And if they want us to think that Dallas Cowboys are America's team still, when we all know they haven't been to a Super Bowl since '96.
Yeah,
let's come on.
The thing that I want to that I'm going to be concerned about is if you're watching a national game, and if the play-by-play and color analysts have been instructed to call the game a certain way.
So elaborate on that, as you are a play-by-play guy.
I am.
Manuch is a former color analyst, or still a color analyst in high school football. But explain how you could call the game different.
This is interesting.
Yeah,
bring up a good point.
Because this is, for me, I was never a homer announcer. In other words, I never was the voice of a team.
Okay.
Everything I did when I got into the business was either regional or national. So I was down the middle on all of my calls. I never had anybody say to me, well, you were kind of hard on that team because they got beat by 30. I said, what am I supposed to say? They got beat by 30. They got smoked. There's nothing. You can't hide that from the fan. My point is that if I want to watch a homer announcer, I will. If I want to listen on to the Suns game, I'm going to listen to the homer announcers, Bloom and Kempton. And you're going to get that from them. But as a national, I hope it does not trend into that.
I think on a local level, there are markets like Chicago, Philly, Cleveland, Boston.
Mm-hmm.
It's homer radio 24/7.
Yes, it is.
And I think because we're a melting pot and we have so many people from all over, we're not one of those markets where you go in and you turn on that local radio station and all they're doing is taking calls.
Yeah.
We don't have that here.
No.
It's, I go back to Philly and, I turn on WIP or the Fanatic and I'm enjoying it because I'm hearing all these fans and they're calling in and they're so passionate. And the hosts it's we. It's our team.
It's us against them.
Yeah.
It's we.
We don't have that in this market.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
The thing about the Fox or those, if they start to cross-pollinate with their politics and sports, that's the problem. I mean, that's the rub.
That's the thing. If ESPN goes down that road, because we know where they stand, that's going to turn off a lot of people.
It will.
I agree.
All right, smelling salts have been banned from the NFL sidelines. Veteran quarterbacks are sitting out week 1. How much are we, I should say, going to see? And it's 117 out. The only place to watch football this weekend is Twin Peaks. Ice cold beer, real games. They're on their way. Wall-to-wall football. We'll tell you who's playing, who's sitting, and what to actually care about in preseason. That's all next, right here. Roc and Manuch and Jamie.
Tired of the same old weekend routine? Then head to Putting World. Experience an elevated 18-hole golf adventure, followed by delicious eats, handcrafted cocktails, and live music at our chef-driven restaurant, Bar 19. Enjoy daily specials and happy hour deals that are sure to keep your wallet happy. Birdies, bites, and brews await. Check out this week's live music schedule at puttingworld.com or just swing on by Putting World, located in the Scottsdale Promenade. Eat it, drink it, sink it. Putting World.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers bring more air for less money. Rust-free, USA built, backed by over 40 years of cooling expertise. Available now at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, and Northern Tool. For more information, go to staycool-products.com. Stay Cool Products. Form, function, value. Get yours today and beat the heat.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Introducing Baja Riba, premium tequila found at Albertsons, Safeway, and your favorite restaurants. Crafted from 100% blue Weber agave, Baja Riba offers an authentic sipping experience. With 88 years of tradition, our master distiller creates smooth flavors of big agave, white pepper, and citrus zest. And don't miss our stunning handcrafted bottle, winner of the 2022 Bottle of the Year by Tequila Aficionado magazine. Discover the artistry of Baja Riba tequila, one of the finest in the world.
Remember when things were built to last? Well, at Arizona Patio Furniture, we've been handcrafting premium outdoor furniture and custom cushions for over 15 years right here in Phoenix using 100% American-made materials. We build it, we sell it, we guarantee it with our exclusive 5-year plus worry-free warranty. Visit any one of our Three Valley showrooms or go to ArizonaPatioFurniture.com. Mention this ad for free delivery and setup in Maricopa County. Arizona Patio Furniture. Some things are still made like they used to be.
Driving high can get you a DUI. Instead of getting behind the wheel, designate a sober driver or rideshare. In Arizona, drug-impaired driving is illegal, even if the drug is legal. So drive sober or not at all. In Arizona, there's zero tolerance for impaired driving, since drugs slow your reaction time and cloud your judgment. If you feel different, you drive different. Visit drivesober.az.gov to learn more. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, we posted another State 48 Roofing listener poll. Has ESPN sold out when it comes to the NFL coverage? Your three choices are yes, bought and paid for it, no, still worthy, C, somewhere in the middle. So check it out. It's on X at Roc and Manuch. All right. Smelling salts. Yep. They're gone from the sidelines. The NFL has officially banned teams providing them. Now, players can still bring their own. But why now? Is it safety? Is it image control? Are we already getting ESPN being part of the NFL? What's going on here? As, you know, players, like I say, can still have them. But I got to ask you, Manuch, why the ban? I mean, does it look bad on TV? Is it the health optics? Is it just an image control the NFL is trying to handle?
I think it's right there because every once in a while you'll see a guy break the ammonia capsule up out and do the hits. Because Larry Fitzgerald just do that before every game. George Kittle does it all the time. So they do it during the game. And I got to believe it might be the optics, that they're going, wow, what are those guys sniffing? Is that healthy for you? Well, there's no
It's not dangerous at all.
It's not dangerous at all.
No. Everything's okay in
so the FA,
moderation, right?
The federal drug administration, the FDA said, well, there's really no proof that it's good for you or it's not good for you. So the NFL is just saying, look, we're going to ban it for whatever reason. It makes no sense, but bring your own.
Yep.
So in Kittle's case, who basically I'm watching Monday night when NFL Network's in San Francisco, and I'm watching the guys get interviewed, watching Brock get interviewed. Fred Warner's getting interviewed. This is the first I heard of it. So Warner's getting interviewed. George Kittle comes out of nowhere, grabs a microphone. He goes, I'm pissed. They're banning the ammonia capsules. They're blah, blah, blah. I'm going, wait a second, what? So they talked to him. He said, I just got word NFL is going to ban him and blah, blah, blah. I'm pissed. I might retire and so on and so forth. I'm like, whoa, wow. So he came back. He described what they had found in San Francisco. So now it's pretty much just bring your own. What are you going to be, a bag of ammonia capsules now? But, I mean, they're pretty strong, guys. I mean, the only time I used them was when you got dinged or nicked in a game, like a quasi the Stars.
You mean when you were holding and somebody hit the holder?
Yeah, why would you ever need one?
No, I needed them a few times in college, that's for sure. But I mean,
you're a holder.
No, well, in the pros I did. I never got dinged in pro football.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
one time
play.
I did, yeah. But in college, it got dinged a few times, and you break it open when you sniff it, man, your eyes light up, you clear your sinuses. But this is much to do about nothing. So if guys bring their own, nothing to see here. But to answer your question, guys were being seen by the cameras, because cameras are everywhere, snapping this whatever and sniffing it.
So there's a few other things that the NFL is trying to control. No dark visors without approval. No custom cleats without clearance. That was a big deal for charity and things like that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So you got, I mean, what's the league trying to control?
The dark visors really became a thing because, like running backs, the defense couldn't see where the running back's eyes were looking.
Okay, that's a competitive advantage.
I'll tell you where it started, though. Jim McMahon, who always wears sunglasses because he's got eye issues.
Yeah.
He started with the dark visor because when he played, he just needed that darkness to help his eyes. And then on top of that, running backs here and running backs there. The visors are fine. I'll tell you the other thing is the kind of helmet you wear now, because Aaron Rodgers used to have the same shut helmet. Well, this year they made him change it because they outlawed the other helmet he was wearing before.
Right.
So there's these finer nuances of equipment. Now, you can wear the specialized cleat one day a year. There'll be a designated weekend where you have the whatever your charity is painted on the shoe, or whatever that they can do that. But no more. It's got to be either got to be Nike, Adidas, whatever, and it can't be covered up wherever team issue is. So you can't cover it up. You can't spat your cleats. If you do, you got to put the 3 lines on if it's Adidas or something like that.
You know, you talk so much about advertising and PR. That's exactly what just took place with the cleats, because these sponsors, like, yes, it's all money, and they want that logo to be seen.
All right, as of noon today, here are the veteran quarterbacks that have confirmed that they will sit out week 1. Joe Flacco, longtime veteran, he will sit out their preseason game. Shedeur Sanders and Tyler Huntley will get the snaps. Josh Allen, the franchise QB, he's going to sit out. Mitch Trubisky will get the start. Who else? Aaron Rodgers, of course, he's a no-go. We'll figure that.
Right.
Matthew Stafford, he's currently dealing with an aggravated disc in his back. Geno Smith, they're planning to sit him as well. So rookie Jalen Melrose, the kid from Alabama, he's going to get extensive playing time. Kirk Cousins, he is out. So is Michael Penix Jr. I couldn't even tell you who their third, fourth string is. So you got all these teams protecting their veteran quarterbacks, and these openers are being used to, evaluate some of these backups, these rookies, and I think people are just being cautious.
Well,
but Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray are going on Saturday.
And Rodgers said if Mike Tomlin wants him to go, he'll go. He'll start. He said that last night. If he wants him to start, he will start, because Tomlin wants to start playing these guys to make sure they're ready to go. Mahomes is being scheduled to play an entire quarter for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I got to imagine you're starting to see more and more teams start to evolve back to playing their starters a little bit more. Now, Flacco, you want to see Shedeur Sanders and the other kid play quite a bit.
Huntley.
So there's guys you want to see play, but you're going to see more starters more and more. That trend is starting to come back to that point because
there's only 3 games.
Well, that and they're seeing the Chiefs and the Eagles have been doing it for several years. I guess have been in the Super Bowl 3 out of the last 5 years. Eagles and Chiefs. So there's teams that have pretty much have been in the thick of it when they played their starters quite a bit. Now, that the first 2 preseason games will be key for those guys to play, knock the rust off, and get them ready. Because if they don't play that 3rd week, it's basically they're going to have 3 weeks before they have a regular season game. So you got 2 weeks off after the 3rd preseason game. So if you're not playing that 3rd preseason game, you got a total of 3 weeks. I think a lot of coaches want to guard against that to make sure their guys are ready game 1 and hitting on all cylinders. That's a long time to have off without playing a game. You can scrimmage all you want.
Not the same.
It's a lot. Exactly. Yeah. It's not the same whatsoever.
Yeah, there's teams like the Bengals, under Zach Taylor, they have one of the worst records for the first month of the season. They're 1-3 last year, 1-3 a year before. I think they started 0-2 and then won a couple. So you wonder if it matters that much. I mean, you can talk about the Eagles, you can talk about the Chiefs. I mean, the Eagles have started off poorly and still, they rebound.
I think a lot of it depends on what kind of team you have. So if you have a veteran-laden team and you got a good offensive line, good guys that have been there for several years are having success, yeah, those kind of guys you can probably hold back or play them sparingly during a preseason. The example I use a lot is when the Rams won the Super Bowl a few years ago. Sean McVay did not play his starters at all, but he had Matthew Stafford to play a lot of football. He had a veteran offensive line, a veteran defense. You pretty much had a good team that he knew he could trust. And they came out of the chute 4-0 until the Cardinals went over there and beat them for that first time. But he knew what he had, but he could trust him. So if you got a young team, they got to play and get themselves ready.
I do think we get caught up. The Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, and they were 2-2 in their first 4.
Right.
They lost to the Falcons, and they had lost to the Buccaneers.
Weren't they screaming, too, for the coach's head?
Yeah.
They were.
And
they got to get rid of them.
And also the way they ended the year before, losing that first playoff game, and then going into last year before they finally found their traction with all that.
All right, we were looking for someone brave to take on one of the gorgeous Twin Peaks girls here from Deer Valley, Twin Peaks. And you think you got what it takes? Prove it or go down in flames like last week. So we need someone to get in line right now at 602-230-0620. It's Brooke, who is competing against whoever is the 5th caller for a $25 gift card. But before we do that, here's Maddie with a Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update.
It's time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Diamondbacks dropped another close one last night, falling 3-2 to the Padres after giving up 2 runs late for another costly loss. They have an off day today before starting a 3-game set against the Colorado Rockies at Chase Field. Meanwhile, football is back. The Arizona Cardinals opened their preseason Saturday against the Kansas City Chiefs, and head coach Jonathan Gannon says the starters will play, giving fans their first look at the 2025 squad. Draft your fantasy team where the real MVPs are at Twin Peaks. Ice cold 29-degree beer, wall-to-wall TVs, legendary eats, and scenic views. This is how you fantasy draft. Commissioners, score a $50 bonus card plus $5 for every drafter at the lodge. Lock in your draft party now at twinpeaksrestaurant.com/fantasy draft, or better yet, just stop into one of the 5 Twin Peaks lodges.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Beat the heat with AC Experts. Is your air conditioning ready for summer? Don't sweat it. Our certified technicians are here to keep your home cool and comfortable. From routine maintenance to emergency repairs, we've got you covered. Enjoy staycations in a perfectly chilled home. For a limited time, take advantage of our special discounts on new AC installations. Call AC Experts today at 480-386-6980 or visit acexpertsaz.com to schedule your appointment. Stay cool Springfield, Arizona.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Statistics show that roughly 20 veterans die by suicide every day in the United States. Canines for Warriors is the leading nonprofit organization providing highly trained service dogs to veterans with PTSD and other invisible wounds of war. Backed by scientific research, Canines for Warriors has transformed the lives of more than 1,000 veterans, helping them reclaim their independence. To find out more, please visit caninesforwarriors.org.
Are you ready? It's your weekly chance to challenge one of the beautiful girls from Twin Peaks. It's Peaks Picks. The Twin Peaks girls are the essential ingredient to the perfect lodge experience. Each week, our Girl Next Door Twin Peaks contestant takes on an ESPN 620 listener for 3 games. Get the most picks right. Win a $25 man card for one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations: Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, Tempe, and Deer Valley. Now, time for Peaks Picks.
All right, we have Brooke today who joins us. We got Colts at Ravens, Browns at Panthers, and Chiefs at Cardinals. Preseason football. Brooke, how long you been at Twin Peaks?
About 6 months, 7 months.
All right, so you're still kind of a, would you say a rookie or no longer a rookie?
I'd say no longer a rookie. No.
Okay. Where are you from originally?
Here.
Okay.
Yeah.
What high school?
Cactus.
Cactus. Okay, so not too far from the Deer Valley location.
Not bad.
Big football fan?
Love it.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
So you nodded your head like as no, and you said you love it. So do you go up and down, that would be you love it.
I mean, I feel like for the job I have to love it.
Okay. All right, that's fair. So we have 3 preseason games. You're competing against Mike in Surprise. And if he wins, he's going to win a Twin Peaks gift card, and then we're going to have him come in and see you. So he'll be, spend it with you, and obviously give you a 50% tip on it.
Of course.
So, yeah. So, all right. First game is the game that we're going to watch tonight at Twin Peaks on the NFL Network at 4:00. It's the Colts at the Ravens. Who's going to win? Colts at the Ravens. Who do you think's going to win?
The Colts.
She's going with the Colts. All right, CC. Who's Mike going with?
Mike went with the Ravens.
Went with the Ravens. Okay, also, just to let you know, the other games on tonight, the Bengals and the Eagles, that's not on television, but the second game tonight, doubleheader on the NFL Network, will be Raiders and Seattle.
All right, for tomorrow night, Cleveland Browns will take on the Carolina Panthers, 4:00 tomorrow on the NFL Network. So Browns versus the Panthers. Which way you going? Shedeur Sanders starting for the Browns.
I'm going to go with the Panthers.
Good Panthers, all right. CC, which way did Mike from Surprise go on this one?
Went to Browntown.
All right.
Here we go.
Let me also mention the other games tomorrow night. Detroit and Atlanta, Washington, and New England. So if you're trying to get that honeydew list done to watch some preseason football. Jimmy.
Yep, here we
away.
go. It is the Cardinals exhibition opener. It is Saturday night, State Farm Stadium. Guess who's there? The Kansas City Chiefs. It is Saturday night, and you can listen on the mothership as well, 98.7 Arizona Sports. So here we go. Is it the Cardinals at home or the Kansas City Chiefs?
I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, Connor, back in the studio. What do we got?
Looks like they are also rolling with the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, there you have it. So, all right, Brooke, all right, tell us what's going on here for happy hour. I know people are getting ready. Happy hour starts, I believe, at 3 o'clock. What are the specials here on a Thursday at Peaks?
My specials today.
Oh, your specials.
Duh.
You are the first person in like 10
course.
years that have done this interview.
Of course,
that has
Roc.
said it's
Duh.
her
It's
special.
her special.
My special.
Way to go, Brooke. 6 months.
I like it.
I hope management's listening.
We have our $8 mules. Any of our mules are $8
So can you explain what a Moscow Mule is to these gentlemen?
to these gentlemen.
Well, these guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
I think I know, but refresh my memory, if you would, please.
A classic Moscow Mule is with vodka and ginger beer,
Okay.
some lime, the good things.
Comes in a pretty glass.
They're pretty
Of
good.
course,
I've
the
had
copper
before.
mug.
The copper
Yeah.
mug. Yeah.
All right.
All of our mules have ginger beer in them. The difference is going to be what alcohol's in them.
Okay.
So, like, we have our Crown Apple Mule, we have our Passion Fruit Mule, all kind of a little bit different.
You know, you and I have been doing this a long time. Have we ever had
Man,
one of the servers actually break it down?
Brooke is breaking
Good
it
job.
down.
She's
Tell
on
us,
fire.
keep going. Tell us what else is
She's
going on
on
here.
fire.
She's a radio show waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
See you later, Jimmy.
No.
Yeah, really. Much better looking, I can tell you that.
And taller.
Yeah,
Definitely
Yeah,
taller.
everybody is. You got heels on, Brooke?
No,
No.
I don't.
All right, what other special?
I have my 3 beers, my 22 ounces. 2 of them are $6.50, which is my Mother Road Tower Station and my Blue Moon.
Love it.
And then a Coors Light for $6.
Perfect. Well, Brooke, you did a great job. Thank you
Thank you.
for being
Thank
part
you,
of
Brooke.
the show today.
Of
Good luck with your
course.
picks.
Thank you.
All right, that's Brooke from Cactus High here at the Deer Valley Twin Peaks location. By the way, draft parties. They are hosting draft parties. Commissioners will score a $50 bonus card. Plus, everyone who's drafting in your group will get a $5 draft bonus card as well. So if you want to lock in your draft party now, you go to twinpeaksrestaurants.com/fantasy draft, or just, man, make it easy. Just stop in one of the 5 Valley locations and sign up. Twin Peaks, the ultimate draft day experience. All right, so one thing I want to get into that I thought was quite interesting has nothing to do with football. But a judge came down today and dismissed the 1983 NC State cardiac pack NIL lawsuit versus the NCAA. Mm-hmm. So what this judge did in North Carolina, he dismissed the lawsuit that was filed by the 12 members of that national championship team. They were trying to get some of the NIL compensation from the NCAA. It's been 40 years. Wow. They were trying to claim that the NCAA profited over the last 40 years from their likenesses, using the highlights, branding, the upset over Houston without any compensation. Give me a
Come
break,
on, guys.
NC State.
One of the guys on that team is Terry Gannon. He's on the court when Lorenzo Charles makes the dunk. Terry Gannon and I worked together calling games for a number of years. He now works for the Golf Channel, and I think he does work for ABC.
If they would have won that,
yes.
The guy that won that game, sadly, is deceased. Lorenzo Charles,
Charles,
that dunk is no longer with us.
Yes.
Where would that money would have gone?
Yeah.
There's got to be. You would think there'd be some kind of statute of limitations.
You
would
would
think
40 years.
Well, there's. I remember
it
now.
should be 5.
The lawsuit that was settled went from football's 2016 to current.
Right.
I even think that's very generous. They went back, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years to go back and go, wow, we're going to get back to 2016. I can't imagine going back 40 years and go, hey, you know what? We see that every time Jim Valvano's on talking about cancer research or whatever, we show that. We show the shot. We show him running around doing that whole thing.
Cha-ching, cha-ching,
yeah.
cha-ching,
And
yeah.
so I think it's kind of a disservice for them to say, hey, look, we want ours. What do you mean you want yours?
Everybody wants a piece, don't they?
Yeah. And I'm
Everybody
like,
wants a piece of the $2.8 billion.
Speaking
that
of,
that has been dispersed so quickly.
well, but it took this long for a judge to
Year.
make that decision.
Last June.
So they fired it. So last year was filed. This year, I'm sorry, they didn't kick it out sooner.
So they filed it in June last year.
Okay.
The players demanded a jury trial.
Wow.
And
gosh.
a reasonable compensation for all that long-term promo use.
Right.
I mean, you see that it is. You see that highlight all the time.
Sure you do.
Derek Wittenberg, and then Lorenzo grabs it and dunks it. Look, it's the way of the world that has changed so dramatically from back then. Guys, this is a situation now where the money in college sports is so big that people from yesteryear want to try to capitalize on that. I mean, that would be like me going back and saying, hey, I did that game in 1989. I should be paid something there because you used a couple of clips of my game. That's not going to happen.
Would you guys agree? The period that was covered was from September 15th, 2024 to June 15th, 2016 to 2024 for the $2.8 billion.
Right.
So that's 10 years for football and men's basketball, and then women's basketball got a little piece in some of the other sports. But when does it get to the point where, why'd they go? I think they went too far there.
I'm with you. I thought that was more than generous, to be honest with you.
And that's what
really
I said.
did.
I said they went back 10 years.
10.
To go back 40, I think, to your point, being disingenuous, Jimmy, that they would throw that out there. Matter of fact, as a player, whatever game you played in on TV, radio, those rights, you give up those rights.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the rights of NBC, ESPN, or whoever. And so they have those. And it's almost like the guys, and this is my opinion, they're exploiting what Jim Valvano has done for his record and for cancer research. And for the good of the cancer research, they're going, well, wait a second. You can put that out there about Jimmy V Week and showing this. But if you're going to do that, it's like they want residuals.
Yeah.
I mean, you got your you got your scholarship. You moved on. You got to, I mean, what residuals are you going to get unless you have it written out like they do a sitcom? After 10 years, you get residuals. That game will live in infamy in reference to all that it was for things that Jim Valvano wanted to go ahead and propagate, move forward. I don't know. I just think for them to file that suit, I never know they did that until I read that this morning. That's like, wow, that's, I don't know. I just think that's talk about lack of integrity or just man guys.
No, I would love to have someone part of that team sit here and try to justify.
Yeah. It was just greed. That's all.
Maybe
lawyers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're the only people that made money. Yeah. They're the only people that made money were the attorneys.
Maybe we dial up Derek Wittenberg, who's former Phoenix Sun, who's the Suns pick.
Yeah.
That was that.
Hey, real quick, random fact of the day. This is one that many of you already know, but if you don't, you'll learn something today on our program. Brett Favre is the only quarterback in NFL history to throw a touchdown to himself. It happened in 1992 when a pass was deflected back to him. He ran it in for the score. So official was in the stat book. 1 pass attempt, 1 completion, 1 receiving touchdown. What a legend.
Yes, he is. Just ask him. That's for sure.
He'll tell you.
Yeah.
So,
hell of a player.
What will be the key for the Chiefs to get back to the Super Bowl? The play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, will join us next to break it all down. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620, 98.7 HD-2. You can do the TuneIn and always streaming on YouTube and the Arizona Sports app.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
Ready to hit Lake Pleasant the right way? West Side Recreation has your perfect day on the water. From Bluetooth speakers and tow bars to floating mats, tubes, full shade, and all the safety gear. Use code ESPN and get 15% off your rental right now. Whether you want to relax or ride wild, just bring the sunscreen. We've got the rest. Book today at westsideaz.com. West Side Recreation. We rent fun.
Summer is just around the corner.
Is your roof ready for the monsoon season? Well, now's the perfect time to call State 48 Roofing for a free roof inspection. Don't wait until you're dealing with a leaky roof in the scorching heat. Protect your home today. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. Keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing, the #1 referred roofer in Arizona, proudly serving the Arizona residential and commercial markets for over a decade.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Roc is the way to go.
I'm Attorney Shevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Roc is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to great things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Every summer across the valley, hundreds of our homeless neighbors die because of the heat. This is tragic, and it is preventable. None of us can stop the heat, but together we can save lives. With incredible partners like you, Phoenix Rescue Mission is able to provide life-saving water and critical care to our neighbors in need. Join us this summer and make a difference. Learn more at phoenixrescuemission.org/Code Red.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Mahomes steps up, throws, and he got it! Touchdown, Kelsey! Mario Edwards was there for Houston. Mahomes was going down, and he found his favorite target.
All right, the Chiefs still rolling to 117-degree Arizona. The roof will be closed. Maybe we should keep it open for that. Competitive advantage.
Yeah.
So preseason kicks off 5 o'clock, State Farm Stadium, the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, and one who actually saw Manuch play football at Kansas State. Mitch Holthus joins us now on ESPN 620 Phoenix. How we doing, Mitch? What's going on? Roc Manuch, Jimmy B. What's going on?
How are you, Wildcat?
What up, Emo? Patrick Mahomes is always working on his game. 17-4 in the playoffs, best record of any quarterback his first 7 years as a starter in the playoffs, blah, blah, but he's always working. He said, I need work on my footwork. What do I do? And I said, let me pull out some old tape. And it was Manuch's tape of footwork, And
whatever.
I'm telling you guys,
Now that's funny.
That's a promo.
He saw how fast I could run, right, Mitch?
If we were 4-7, he would have been a Heisman finalist. And
speaking of Mahomes,
won the Heisman on a 2-8 team. So I think at least Manuch should have gone to New York on our 4-7 team.
Well, speaking of Mahomes, this is a guy that's he's a football junkie, isn't he, Mitch? I mean, he wants to play. He's going to play like maybe a quarter in the first preseason game. I mean, of all the guys that probably could take a rest and just hang low with his credit and cachet behind him, but he seems like he wants to play. He wants to be that guy leading the charge. It seems like even at practices, even with scrimmages going on.
I think he's changed the league in that regard because he's always wanted to do that, you guys, ever since his first year. He wants to play at least a quarter, try to get 2 series, try to get into the flow. And now we've had these teams that don't play their starting quarterbacks at all go, well, Bengals here, after having dreadful dreadful Septembers that kept him out of the playoffs. Now they're going to play Burrow like we play Mahomes. He wants to play. Not that he's going to be out there for 70 snaps, but he wants to get into the flow of the game. So, yes, I think the whole league is coming back to Pat in that regard, and that you're going to see starting quarterbacks playing these first games more than they have the last several years because of Pat's approach.
Well, Mitch, don't you think that it's kind of like a copycat league? We know that. And they, you kind of like I said yesterday, what's taking them so long when you see Andy Reid and the Chiefs, what they've done over his history with the Eagles and Chiefs, he plays a lot of his starters. Lo and behold, oh my gosh, could have had a V8. They're in the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles, they're in the Super Bowl. Those teams that play, a lot of their stars are typically in the hunt for the title. What do you think took so many teams so long to come around to that philosophy?
Well, I think Kyler's probably there because he's going to play a little bit, right?
Yes.
And we were there a couple of years ago, and he didn't play a snap. He wasn't going to play. Like, I don't think I don't know what was going, but he didn't play. Whether he did or didn't or wanted to or whatever, the coach wanted to keep him out, he's going to play. And I think that not a lot, but you got to get into a flow. Now with us, it's getting a new offensive lineman in against your guys' defensive front, which secretly has turned into one of the best in the league, and maybe not so secretly. But the point is, he wants that. He wants some time with a first-round draft pick at left tackle and a left tackle that moved the left guard and using his veterans on the right side. So there's, you don't want to put yourself in harm's way. You're not going to be back there dropping at 7 steps all day long. But he wants to play, and he's got too many young guys that he needs to get integrated as fast as he can. So there's value in these preseason games, even if it's 8 to 10 snaps.
Mitch Holthus is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Mitch, you've been around Andy Reid the entire time that he has been with the Kansas City Chiefs. When do they actually elevate him to genius status? When does that take place? Because he is when it comes to football.
Okay. You guys could have a whole show on who's the Mount Rushmore of NFL coaches.
Yeah.
Somebody may have to get pushed off here because Andy Reid probably needs to be on that mountain. He is second in playoff victories, only to Belichick, and Belichick's not going to get any more at North Carolina. And Coach could pass Belichick up this year in the playoffs if he makes it. Fourth all-time in wins. Those are Hallis, Shula, and Belichick are the only three ahead of him. So at some point, we got to start talking about him, Jimmy, as the best ever, or not best ever, but best on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
And he's not given enough credit. It's crazy how underrated he is. And now that he has these 3 Super Bowl titles, and the fact that this is he was 14 in Philly, 13 with us, 27th year as a head coach, and he's been in 6 Super Bowls, and he's won 3 of them. That's a rarefied air.
Mitch, do you ever see him slowing down, or is this just the way he is?
Just the way he is. When people have asked me 10,000 times, Super Bowl hangover, man, they had you down 34-0. Yeah, it was 40-22, but they just dominated you that whole game. Is there a hangover? There's this recoil effect? There has been none of that. This has been an outstanding offseason for this team and an outstanding training camp. And it's because of the infrastructure that's in place. Quarterback's still here. Head coach is still here. All the coordinators are still here. The guts of this franchise is still here. Chris Jones has had his best training camp. Kelsey's still playing. I mean, everything's still in place. That it really centers around Andy Reid. He's the nucleus of the atom. And totally changed this franchise forever. And in many ways changed the league forever. But again, he's underrated. When you look at what he's done, he's not a self-promoter. People make fun of him, cheeseburgers and chicken nuggets and all that. But when it's all said and done, they got to look at what he's done, and it compares against anybody, and I mean anybody who's ever coached in this league. And he married a Phoenix girl. So
good for him. Hey, going back, you kind of hinted at what the mantra was coming this training camp. Even Travis Kelce at the Super Bowl said he didn't guarantee that you guys will be back. He just said we will be back. So look at that Super Bowl, very uncharacteristic game that we saw as Philly dominated. What in the offseason has been the mantra that's being translated at camp to try to get them back to the winning Super Bowl form this year?
I think it has just been to allocate your assets, realize you're probably going to get suspended, but you're going to have Rashee Rice, if he's healthy, for a part, better, more, even if he gets suspended, probably more than last year. Get draft to your team. There's more team speed here. Try to get the offensive line figured out with youth You can't go buy guys, not where we're at with the cap and where we're drafting guys. So we're able to get Simmons at 32nd. We traded down one, got an extra pick, and then we used the pick we got in the Snead trade to get a guy named Ashton Gelati, who looks like one of your up front guys. Like our guys up front, nobody's talking about him on defense, and they're in the same card game with your guys. So it's, hey, the assets are here. Just tighten the screws a little bit, add to them, get more team speed, become more explosive on both sides of the ball, and you'll be right back in the face of everybody else. Here's the thing, guys. The only good thing that came out of losing Super Bowl 59 was the fact that it took the bright lights off us. When we were trying to get the three-peat, every little thing. In fact, ESPN's putting out a deal here in about 10 days or a week or so that they followed us around. It's going to be a really good miniseries. But after that, like, we've been doing our work here and nobody realizes it. Our division's sick of losing to us. We've won 9 straight AFC West titles in a division that eats its young. The Raiders have won 15. Chargers have won 15. The Broncos have won 15. We've won 17, but we've won 9 in a row. So what do? They go hire Super Bowl champion coaches. They go get Harbaugh. They try to get everything fixed. They've all gotten better. So have we. So have the Chiefs. They've gotten a lot better in certain areas, and nobody's talking about it, and that's okay.
Mitch, you've been the longtime voice for this franchise, and we were fortunate enough to have you on quite a bit because of your relationship with Manuch, and we really appreciate that. But through this run, this dynasty, there's so many unforgettable moments you have. Is there one?
Sure.
Is there one special moment that when you're asked, you go with?
It's hard to say that. You win 3 Super Bowls. That's a parallel line. Like, it's your kids. Who do you love one more than the other? But I'm going to give you some sneaky moments. A 9-0 start in Andy's first year after we were 2-14. We were phytoplankton, man. We were the bottom of the NFL ocean, and we started undefeated in our first 9 games. Then the first postseason win in 21 years when we went to Houston and won a wild card game, and people have forgotten about it. But I'll remember that game like it was yesterday. The fact that coaches handled flashpoints that came roaring back the night Mahomes got drafted. There's all these other ancillary moments that have been led to those big 3 moments, including in that stadium that we'll be in on Saturday night. There'll be some warm and fuzzy feelings. And the Eagles have forgotten, by the way. There's a little bit of a recency bias because it's like, I think the series is a tie at 1-1. You know, if this is the Diamondbacks in the NLDS, it's tied at 1-1, and we beat those guys in that stadium. So there's awesome moments, those 3 great moments, but a whole bunch of other moments that are near and dear to my heart, especially the ones where we were clawing, fighting our way to move up the mountain.
Mitch, always great to catch up with you. Every man a Wildcat. We'll talk to you on. We'll see you on Saturday night. Hey, it's going to be a chilly 117 degrees, so just make sure
dress warm.
Yeah, dress warm, would you please?
All right, boys, back it up. No, back it up. We had 2 days of camp where the dew point, the humidity, and the heat equaled 120, and we were in 10.
Wow.
Twice. Oh yeah. No. It was the old school. Let's play in the afternoon Cardinals in the preseason. We did that once. That wasn't very smart. But I'm telling you, Andy Reid doesn't shut it down. He's old school, baby. So we've been out in the heat and humidity. It's a dry heat, I know, down there, but still, if this hadn't been snow cones and candy canes and unicorns up here.
Thank you, Mitch. Appreciate it. Safe travels. Good stuff. Good
See
stuff.
you, Mitch.
All right, coming up next, year 3 of the Gannon era. And, of course, we'll talk some Cardinal football as the Chiefs, as we just talked about. Howard Balzer will join us about 30 minutes. But first, has Torey Lovello earned the right to finish his contract? Or is it time for the D-backs brass to hit a reset in the dugout? We are live from Twin Peaks, Deer Valley. We're going to dive into all that as well as tell you about where you can have your draft. We'll get into the D-backs lost, the collapse yesterday as well. So a lot to get into for our 3rd hour of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. So stick around. Appreciate you hanging out.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. The first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
As the 0-2 pitch, there's a swing and a ball blasted deep right center, headed back towards the pool. It is gone. Forget the pool. That's in the overhang in right center field. His 23rd homer, and the D-backs take a 1-0 lead.
Another one slips away for the Diamondbacks as the Padres take 2 of 3 at the bank. Chase Field, they win yesterday 3-2. And you look at the big picture of this series, Arizona led 20 of the 29 innings, but still lost the set. Of course,
the
for
series,
me, it's set. You know, Jimmy and I, it's tennis. You know, a set. It's usually
series.
You usually play three set.
Best of three.
Best of three. San Diego capitalized late. They scored 2 runs in the 9th inning yesterday. They steal the finale. They steal the series. Arizona's now 54-61. Padres are getting close to the Dodgers as they lost yesterday in the National League West. Next up for the D-backs tomorrow, they will host the Rockies. Rockies have been bad, 30-84. They were just outscored 45-6 in a series with the Toronto Blue Jays, so they have been struggling quite a bit. But you heard Corbin Carroll's 23rd home run just then to start the segment as he surpasses last year's total in 60 fewer games. So he's on pace for 30-plus bombs this season. So good stuff there. But, again, no closer, a collapse in the 9th. After the 5th inning, the offense went silent, 4 hits entire game. Just a bad game overall, even though they should have won. They let it go. Bullpen gets beat once again.
It's very disheartening, but it is what it is. We knew that this is what this team was. After all of the injuries, they have no pitching staff really to speak about. And it is a case in point where this team on paper at the beginning of the year felt like a team that probably would not beat the Dodgers, but they would contend with them. Along with the Padres, we thought the Giants would eventually run out of gas, and they have. And we also felt that they could be that wild card team once again. And it just went to hell in a handbasket as injury after injury hit this team. And now pretty much they have nothing.
Yeah, they're forced to bring up the young guys.
Yeah, it's sad.
And let them play at it. And watching that game last night, I think after Alexander's error, I just felt, man, they could have got out of the eighth inning with a double play. Mm-hmm. And you just kind of felt, wow, it just seems like, okay, it's coming. It's Padres team. They were hitting some of the.
They hit balls hard.
They hit balls hard. I mean, you looked at some of the things that they did, like O'Hearn, the inning before, he hit that home run. He must have hit one 500 feet foul.
He killed that.
I mean, crushed. And then he comes up and he hits the home run and ties it all up. Next thing you know, you look at it, and then they're up. The Padres are up 3-2. Diamondbacks have a chance. They come up. They strike out, as far as going out, not having a chance. But it's kind of been the microcosm of this team when they've been in ball games. They've been in them. I got to believe that the only stretch I felt that this team was completely defeated mentally, physically, and just in a funk was after they win the first 3 games of St. Louis after the break.
Yeah.
Trades happen. The next 9 games, they got outscored, 45-6 or something like that.
Yeah.
Those 9 games, they were averaging 1.4 runs per. And then you just kind of went, there's something amiss. These kids are out of gas. So you figured you come back, get a day off, got the Padres, show a little life. But then again, they're back where they are because specifically the bullpen, probably more so than anything.
Let me take you back to in May. This team was in the top 5 in offense, meaning the Diamondbacks. And even though they were not consistently winning, they were hovering around that 500 mark, and they'd get a couple games over, drop a couple games, get back to it, win a couple games, get up. But they were crushing the baseball. All of that now is long gone. It's a distant memory. And if you're a D-backs fan, it is heartbreaking what has happened to this team. The injury bug did this team in like no other team maybe in the history of baseball, with all of the players and particularly the pitching staff that went to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, I think what really hurt, Montgomery went out early.
Yep.
He's been traded. He had the Tommy John. You got
and Burns.
Burns, Tommy John. He's not going to be back till probably 27.
AJ Puck.
AJ Puck probably not going to be back till 27. Martinez probably not going to be back till 27.
Yeah.
So you looked at a
Can I add something?
Sure.
15 players on the IR.
That's
wow.
5
incredible.
starting pitchers.
Yeah.
7 relievers.
Yeah.
3 positions.
And that's why this team is doing what they're doing.
That was
right
that
now.
was early. That was like middle of July when I saw those numbers.
Yeah.
So
it's probably even more
get
so.
the chewing gum out, the masking tape, putting things together. So you know what? It's going to be okay. Do put the best crew you can get out there.
Finish out the season.
Finish with pride. The thing that kind of just, I guess, is disheartening is to see, watching this team, is to see some of the gaffes on the base paths that continue to happen, the errors at the inappropriate time. I talked about the runners in scoring position. They're below average as far as the main average, as far as runners in scoring position. They were, to your point, a few weeks ago, we were talking about as far as scoring, they were in the top 5, but the runners, as far as clutch runners in scoring position, they were in top 10. Well, that's fallen by the wayside. But when you watch the teams in the hunt, in wild cards, leading their divisions, their clutch hitting, runners in scoring position, are some of the top. So that all goes hand in hand. Now, to keep them in that runners in score position, their pitching has also helped, and they haven't faded like this Diamondback team has faded because of the lack of bullpen closing.
Right.
Yesterday you guys had Renee Latchman on.
Yeah.
And you guys talked about injuries. You'll look at this IR list, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players on the 60-day with elbow.
Okay.
You have 2 shoulder. You have an oblique, a foot, and a hand. What did he say? 'Cause I took a phone call right when you guys asked the question about, why are we seeing so many injuries?
Well, he basically said these kids that come up, number one, he thinks they're overpitched. They're all on AAU baseball.
Okay.
So number 2, they're all trying to throw 100 miles an hour.
Yep.
Number 3, they're not developing these guys as pitchers versus throwers. And then therein lies all of a sudden they get to the major leagues, the stress on the arm. They're all trying to throw 100 plus. I mean, you look at Matt Miller, the kid. Look at this kid. I mean,
Mason Miller.
Yeah, Mason Miller.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 100, 203 on average.
Yeah.
So
he's a badass.
He is bad.
A badass.
When he came in, it's like,
I know.
Forget it.
I mean, you missed those closers. Remember, that when
Where's Goose Gossage?
Lee Smith.
Oh,
yes,
man.
I mean, Kent
Bruce
Colby,
Sutter.
Gene Garber. I mean,
Raleigh Fingers.
all these guys that were just, you knew once they came in,
Yeah.
game over.
Yeah.
You don't have that. Since Mario Rivera retired, there hasn't been that closer.
Yeah, and I think that we also asked him about why so many pitches for so few innings. And again, he brought in the whole metric thing, which was interesting. He said, well, with the metrics, if guys can give them 5, 6 innings, maybe 7, you've got these metrics that say, okay, after 100 pitches or the 7th inning, bring in your 8th inning guy and then your closer. So there's too much of it where guys used to pitch 120, 125 pitches per game, and they would finish games. They would go ahead and close out the game, or you'd have a guy go 8 innings, and the only time you'd see a reliever might be a closer at the top, maybe a reliever once in a while, but not how they are now. So the art of pitching, throwing too much too soon, has kind of been a culmination of what we're seeing right now with this IL.
One of the things that I distinctly remember what Latch said, and he went back to some of the great pitchers, Seaver. I'll just put Seaver out there. Gibson, all those guys, Nolan Ryan, was that they pitched themselves into the game. In other words, they didn't really throw all their hard stuff in the first 2 innings. Okay. And so when they got to the 6th or 7th inning, they were still fresh, arm fresh, and could still throw it 95 miles an hour. And he equated that to what Manuch said. The guys today come out blazing at 100, and they're out of gas by 4 or 5 innings.
Because they know somebody's going to come in.
Somebody's going to come in
and pick the ball up, so to speak.
All right, we're out here at Twin Peaks, Deer Valley. Again, fantasy drafts. Great place to host it. Commissioner score a $50 bonus card plus $5 for every drafter at the lodge. So lock in your draft party now. Go to twinpeaksrestaurants.com/fantasy draft, or just stop in any of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. All right, let's continue with the baseball talk. Has Torey Lovullo earned the right to finish his contract? Of course, he got the extension after they got to the World Series. Or is it time for the D-backs to hit a reset in the dugout? We'll argue both sides next, right here on ESPN 620.
Brock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
Summer is just around the corner. Is your roof ready for the monsoon season? Well, now's the perfect time to call State 48 Roofing for a free roof inspection. Don't wait until you're dealing with a leaky roof in the scorching heat. Protect your home today. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. Keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing, the #1 referred roofer in Arizona, proudly serving the Arizona residential and commercial markets for over a decade.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose is the way to go.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Lerner and Rose is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Construction managers, you prioritize safety with hard hats and gloves and harnesses, but there's another tool to add to your first aid kits, naloxone. Naloxone reverses an opioid overdose and saves lives. Not only are construction workers at a greater risk of an opioid overdose than people in other occupations, but many overdoses occur in or near job sites. Provide access to naloxone and protect your workers. Together, we can build a safer future. Visit naloxoneaz.com. That's naloxoneaz.com.
At Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and safe. And that means safe at home, at school, and online.
Hope means walking this path together, all of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
Learn more at childfund.org.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
1-1. There's a swing and a hard hit ball to deep right field. Carroll's going back, looking up for time. Ryan O'Hearn gets his 14th home run of the season, but his first home run as a Padre, and it could not have come at a better time. A game-tying shot, and we are tied at 2.
D-backs fall last night, and they lose the series. So the question, has Torey Lovullo earned the right to finish his contract, or time for a reset? He led the D-backs to the World Series in 2023. He was rewarded, got the contract extension through next year. This year, we all know, we've witnessed it, they've stumbled, and they've stumbled hard. They went from 5 games over 500 in April to sellers at the deadline, but just a week and a half ago, to a bullpen that continues to collapse. Defense has regressed. Frustration with the fans. You can feel it, you hear it, you see it on social media. But despite all that, Mike Hazen, the general manager, Derek Hall, the president, they have publicly backed Torey Lovullo. They've cleared $17 million in payroll at the deadline, which was big. Hall says the money will be reinvested into the roster for next season. Like the Phoenix Suns, they are saying this isn't a rebuild, it's a retool. We hear that a lot here in Arizona. Yeah. We need a winner now. Let's go ASU football. So is Lovullo, is he going to get an opportunity to continue because of the injuries? I mean, I can make a case for him staying. Mm-hmm. I can also make a case you move on.
Yeah, for me, I look at, is this going to be one of those years where they go, well, you were handicapped because of the injuries. You laid those out. Do they give him a mulligan for what he did 2 years ago or last year? Or do they see some things aside from the injuries and the lack of pitching that they're not happy with? So, a couple things. I had a chance, we were looking at this. I kind of broke down from the offensive side.
You just a prep.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Dude,
I drove in, brother.
I'm all ears, baby. Let's stop the presses. Let's go, Manuch.
So
is frightening.
a couple
I
things.
know, he's
so,
got it written down.
So a couple things, pros versus the cons.
All right, give me the pros.
I said pros. Right now, when you look at this team overall, they're fifth team, the team batting average at 248.
So you're half what you're half.
Yeah, about half. Yeah, but
all right.
now their top 10 is slugging percentage,
Good.
on base percentage,
Good.
and runs scored.
Got
Okay.
it.
So you got that from that standpoint. So their batting average, we talked about that. Right now, their 17th team fielding average at 986. So again, just above average, if you will. 25th in team pitching ERA. This is where this falls off.
Right.
4
So now you're going cons.
Going cons. Team bullpen giving up 27th, 4.93 overall as far as the bullpen. So, Jimmy, you brought this up last segment. They were, 3-4 weeks ago, they were kind of in the hunt.
They were.
As far as runs scored, batting average. They've slipped now to, 15, 16 out of the 30 teams.
Yeah, but look who they've lost. They've lost their leading home
Yeah,
run
but this
hitter. They lost Naylor.
You got to throw those numbers out since they traded him.
Well, that's the thing. That's they're looking at
Naylor,
it.
I mean, yeah.
But these are the latest. These are the latest numbers where they're at right now. So they've
Okay, but
taken
it's
account.
only been a week.
I know. But I'm just, so when you look at that and go, okay, well, maybe they're not doing so bad as far as hitting. Pitching, we know the woes.
Yeah.
The one thing I was trying to find as I was trying to find the end of the internet, runners in scoring position, and it came up. They are one of the they're below average as far as runners in scoring position, which that piece there tells me where's the clutch hitting. Now, a lot of, even when we had the Naylors, we had the Suarez, we had all the guys here, they were some of the culprits. When it came to runners in scoring position, those guys were 0 for 0 for 0 for, so that's been a big part of it. So I also looked at some of the base running gaps that this team has had over the entire year, not just recently, so that plays into it. So all of a sudden I'm going, okay, here's the pros, here's the cons. Now,
you put them in the blender. What did it give you?
in the blender, I think right now what management's going to do, because also the other guy that's part of this is Mike Hazen. Okay, Mike Hazen, okay, you're responsible for bringing some of these guys in. Ownership paid the money. So do they do the reboot retool because of the injuries? I think what they're going to do with Torey Lovello is I think they're going to keep him. I think they're going to say, look, hopefully get these guys back. Now, several of these guys aren't going to come back for 2 years. So you look at that as well, too, from the pitching standpoint. And the other side is, if I'm Ken Kendrick, I'm a managing general partner, do I see the player positions developing with the 3 core guys that are here? Marte, Carroll, maybe Marino, and after that, I don't know. Then look at that to see if Torey stays, we have to develop those guys moving forward as well, too.
I'll add a caveat.
Go ahead.
If Torey stays, I think he has to make some major changes with his assistant coaches because all of the injuries to the pitching staff didn't work. They went out, they spent money, they brought in really good arms, and they're all hurt. Manuch just talked about the inadequacy in fielding, in base running. Something is amiss there because whatever that message is from the assistant coaches during practice, it didn't connect. It's a disconnect. So if Torey stays, I think he is going to have to, and I'll use the word, retool his coaching staff.
All right. I'm going to give you 4 cons.
Okay.
And 4 pros.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the pros.
Okay.
His contract through 20. I'm sorry. This is the opposite. This is
the cons?
I'll go cons first.
Okay.
He's under contract. Firing now would be costly.
Yes.
Financially, maybe culturally too.
Yeah.
Proven record. You go back to 2021 and he lost 110 games.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 years, he's in the World Series.
Yeah.
All right. He could turn things around. He could do it again. He also won a National League
Manager
of the Year at 1.2.
Yep.
The trust of general manager Mike Hazen. I think they work good together. Publicly, he's backed them. And then I think the clubhouse culture, the players, both the veterans, the young guys, they respect leadership and they like honesty. On the other side, you have the collapse. They fall apart after April. Playoffs are done. They do the trade deadline. Fan patience are gone. Bullpen mismanagement. Even with injuries, the bullpen struggled. It's how he's using the bullpen, taking guys out when he maybe keep them in and vice versa. The defense has dropped off. League best in errors in average in 2025. Both the fundamental stuff we see, just the little things, right? We see. And then I think the message. 9 years is a long time for one manager.
Agreed.
Maybe the voice in the dugout needs to change. Now, I've said there's two ways I'll go here. And when I put it in the blender, Manuch, I think they keep him, but they keep him in the front office. Because here's what could happen.
Interesting take.
If they kept him as the manager and this team starts out in April and May of next year and they're plummeting like the Pittsburgh Pirates did, it's the last year of his contract. They don't have to pay him as much.
Sure.
And they let him go in mid-season, or early season. I hope that's not the case. I hope they keep him.
Yeah.
9 years, I mean, that's a long time. Him and Mike have a good working relationship, clearly.
They do.
I think that
I
think with that, Rock, they're both tied at the hip. I really believe they're both tied at the hip. I think Ken Kendrick likes the association. Derek Hall, obviously. But I tend to lean with you, Jimmy, a little bit about something's amiss when you see constant errors. The mental errors are what bothers me the most when they're time after time after time again, which you just go, guys, you're running into outs. Didn't we get that figured out like 3 months ago? You got to be smart on the base pass. You had back-to-back games where guys are at second with one out or no outs. A ball's hit to the left side of the infield, and they're going to third base. It's an easy out. Why? You're seeing guys get picked off at first base when you just had a ground out. I don't know. I just see some of the mental side that I just wonder what's being driven home. And Tori, is clearly frustrated. But you're major league players. That should be like a given what to do, what not to do.
All right, then that takes me to what my point was. That's his assistant coaches.
True.
Okay. I mean,
it falls on him eventually.
It falls on him eventually, yes, because he is the manager. However, when you talked about the bullpen and not getting he is not the bullpen coach. He is the manager. And when he talks to the bullpen, they tell him, okay, go with this guy. Okay, let's do that.
Well, I think if Torrey can guide the transition, then he can ride out this contract.
Sure,
right?
agree.
But if the team flatlines again, if they go through a rough patch where they get swept by Colorado,
right,
and they lose some games towards the
it doesn't end well.
It doesn't end well. Then I think the front office is going to have to make a decision.
I think that's more than fair.
I think all of us agree.
Yeah.
We like this guy
sure,
a lot.
Yeah.
And he's just such a good guy.
Yep.
And you hate to see anybody lose their job.
And he has won.
He has won.
He has won.
Yeah. So anyway, we got ESPN update next with Maddie. Then we'll catch up with Howard Balzer and talk some Arizona Cardinals. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
It's time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Diamondbacks dropped another close one last night, falling 3-2 to the Padres after giving up 2 runs late for another costly loss. They have an off day today before starting a 3-game set against the Colorado Rockies at Chase Field. Meanwhile, football is back. The Arizona Cardinals opened their preseason Saturday against the Kansas City Chiefs, and head coach Jonathan Gannon says the starters will play, giving fans their first look at the 2025 squad. Draft your fantasy team where the real MVPs are at Twin Peaks. Ice cold 29-degree beer, wall-to-wall TVs, legendary eats, and scenic views. This is how you fantasy draft. Commissioners score a $50 bonus card plus $5 for every drafter at the Lodge. Lock in your draft party now at twinpeaksrestaurants.com/fantasy draft. Or better yet, just stop into one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink
drink up.
The Arizona heat is brutal, but your golf game doesn't have to suffer. Swing Shift Golf Club is your air-conditioned escape, open 24/7 with top-tier simulators and zero sunscreen required. And let's be honest, no other indoor golf spot even comes close. Swing Shift is absolutely stunning. It's modern, spotless, and designed to impress. Leagues ahead of the competition. Memberships start at just $129 a month. Cool off, tee off. Only at Swing Shift Golf in Scottsdale. Join now at theswingshift.golf.
Hey, Manuch here. As a former NFL quarterback, I've taken a few hits, but nothing worse than bad underwear. Sweaty, itchy, riding up. Now that's a daily sack nobody needs. The crew at Cho Boys sent me their boxers and boxer briefs, and I'm telling you, these are the real MVP. The bamboo pairs, game changers. Cool, soft, breathable, like calling the perfect audible for your lower half. Even out in this Arizona heat, Chill Boys keeps me comfortable and focused. I've swapped out the old gear. Now I'm Team Chill Boys, and the whole squad at ESPN 620 is too. Try one pair, you'll feel the difference. Hit up chillboys.com, use code ESPN, and get 20% off your first order. That's chillboys.com for underwear that protects the pocket and keeps you cool in crunch time.
Ready to hit Lake Pleasant the right way? West Side Recreation has your perfect day on the water. From Bluetooth speakers and tow bars to floating mats, tubes, full shade, and all the safety gear. Use code ESPN and get 15% off your rental right now. Whether you want to relax or ride wild, just bring the sunscreen. We've got the rest. Book today at westsideaz.com. West Side Recreation. We rent fun.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admired so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL writer, broadcaster, and co-host of the Pro Football Hall of Fame show on SiriusXM. A Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Hey, everybody, welcome back in. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM, HD-2. Howard is with us as we continue to broadcast live here at the Deer Valley Twin Peaks. Don't forget, NFL exhibition preseason play tonight, and they start at 4 o'clock. Twin Peaks is your place to watch all of the NFL action. Howard, welcome, pal, as always. Let us begin then with what the Cardinals and Chiefs are going to do on Saturday. We had Mitch Holthus on, the longtime play-by-play voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. He says he thinks that Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs quarterback, will play at least the first quarter. If that's the case, what do you expect out of the Cardinals starters?
You know, I don't know if it'll be the full quarter. You know, a lot of times I don't understand, quite honestly, why anybody sits there and says, oh, they're going to play a quarter. Well, suppose you only have the ball for 6 snaps in the first quarter. You know, suppose you have a 3 and out, and then the defense, you know, the other teams, you know, runs a lot of clock, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you haven't had any snaps. So I think it's more snap counts than anything. Yes. I know Andy Reid, the Chiefs coach, has come out and said that the starters are probably going to play, I don't know if he said a quarter or about a quarter, but you also want to make them, you know, at least meaningful snaps. And so I think that's really what it comes down to. And I think that's what Jonathan Gannon is deciding in terms of the Cardinals, and of, you know, how many snaps, you know, they're going to play on either side of the ball. You just have to look at, you know, how much work guys got in and what you're hoping to accomplish with it. So I think that, you know, I don't expect the starters to be out there very long, like Kyler Murray. I don't know if James Conner will play at all. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see on that on Saturday evening. But, you know, I think it'll be, you know, a decent enough time to, you know, run some offense, run some defense, and get accomplished what you want to get accomplished. So I think that's it'll be something close to that, I would think, in this game on Saturday.
Howard, the phrase or the mantra was friction coming into this training camp. Do you think this is part of the friction to play as starters early on, and can you continue that physicality and friction leading into the preseason?
Well, I think to a degree you can, and certainly, like you said, that has been a theme, and we've seen it in the padded practices that they've had, and so I think that's probably a part of it. I think that he felt for whatever reason that this is a good thing to do for Jonathan Gannon said for the development of the team and where we are as a team, and it kind of just I'm always torn on it, quite honestly, a little bit, guys, because there'll be those who will say if you don't play well early in the season and your starters didn't play, they'll say, oh, it's because they didn't play, right? Well, if they do play at least that's one. But I don't think they're doing things based on what the outside narrative is going to be. I just think they're looking at it as much because they're very. I think there's a lot of optimism within that locker room, within the coaches' rooms too. There's a lot of what they feel that this can be a pretty darn successful season, and I think that that's what they want to kind of develop during this preseason is get these guys out there working together, being a team, and everything, you see, everything I hear, everyone you talk to says that, this team is really coming together as a team. And I think that's as much a part of it as anything.
Howard Balzer is our guest, everybody, here on the Right Toyota.
I know Howard Simon.
I know him too.
I do also.
Yes, you do. The thing that I wanted to ask you is they signed Will Hernandez, so he is back. How do you expect him to fit into the offensive line?
I think that, I know a lot of people are going to react to this and say, oh, here we go. Well, the guy hasn't done anything football-wise since he injured his knee in October. So they signed him. He's on that active, physically unable to perform list. But think of this. You guys, I like to look at things in the real world, not in fantasy land. It's 19 days from today that rosters are reduced to 53 players. 19 days. Between now and then, I think there's probably about 6 or 7, maybe 8 at most practices, right? He's not going to be ready really to practice. He might do some drills and things like that, but they've got to work with him with the rehab people. Let's remember, this is a little different situation than even Kyler Murray or anybody that you had on your roster who was under contract who got hurt, because they can rehab with the strength coaches, with all those people at the facility, and you can monitor them on a day-to-day basis. When a guy's not under contract, he's not even allowed in the building. And so this is their first look at Will Hernandez in terms of what he can actually do physically. And so it would surprise me that when that roster reduces to 53, if he's not put on the reserve physically unable to perform list, which then keeps him out for 4 games. He can't practice during that time. So that's the one thing that I think they could be evaluating in these next almost 3 weeks is, do we keep him on the 53-man roster, even though he's truly maybe not ready to play, but at least during that time, if he's on the roster, he can practice, right? And still do the things and the drills that everybody's doing, then be inactive on game day until there's that time where he's ready to be active. So that's the decision the team is going to make. But I don't see where he's going to be truly ready to play football. And, Gannon said today that, Isaiah Adams and Evan Brown are the starters. That doesn't mean it's going to be like that way the whole season. But if Will Hernandez is active at the start of the season, that means he's got to be ready to go in there and play in an NFL game if, something happens to one of those guys. And I just don't believe that that's realistic.
And speaking of that in particular, I got to imagine a lot of eyes from this organization, fans and folks like myself. Darius Robinson, Will Johnson are a couple of guys I want to watch during the preseason, not only on Saturday night, but on the offensive side, Howard, who might be a couple of guys that the Cardinals are watching? I think you mentioned Isaiah Adams. Is there anybody else in particular they want to watch or have a keen eye on from the offensive side?
I think Trey Benson will definitely, I mentioned, I don't know if James Conner is going to play at all, but if he does, it won't be very much. So I would expect that Trey Benson's going to get, a bunch of snaps in this game. So I think, that's one guy. I think that, I think one guy to watch this season is Zay Jones, who had a, difficult situation last year when he signed with the Cardinals in May, but he was being suspended for the first 5 games of the season, and he's just never really comfortable and in sync. Well, now he's, more in sync, and I think he has a chance to develop as a true number 3. Obviously, Greg Dortch is going to be used at different times, Michael Wilson, but it gives him some depth. So, how much they really want to see those Zay Jones in the preseason games. I mean, the guy's played, he's in his 9th NFL season. So I don't know that there's too many guys on offense, but I do think what they want to look at, and it's not exciting, right? But you want to look at some of those backup guys. Who's going to be the backup offensive lineman? Let's say who's going to be the backup inside linebacker? And even though I think right now, guys, the corners look, pretty, even with the injuries they've had, the corners look, pretty solid with your top 3 guys, with Will Johnson and Garrett Williams and Max Melton. But that's 3 corners. Who's going to be your 4th corner, right? Is it Denzel Burke, the rookie? Is it Elijah Jones, who missed the 3rd-round pick from last year, who missed the whole season with an injury? Is it Keitrell Clark, who's kind of had a little roller coaster time with the Cardinals in his first, 2 seasons? Even a guy like Jalen Jones, who nobody knows much about, he's played some games for the Bears in recent seasons. So that's one thing I think to look at. What'll be interesting is those corners in terms of after the top guys, because they're probably going to get a lot of time on Saturday evening.
Howard, let me stay with the defensive side of the ball. One of the guys I'm going to be trying to dial in on is Darius Robinson. We all know what happened to him. He was a touted high pick last season, had the calf injury, struggled, didn't even come back till like game 12 or 13, only played here and there. All the reports that we hear now coming out of camp is that he is a wrecking ball on the defensive line. What do you expect out of him on Saturday night?
It's a great question, because even last year as a rookie, when he was, he was playing very good football in camp and all those things. And I believe in the first preseason game, he had 10 snaps in the game, and then he didn't play any others. After that. And so granted, the 3rd game came after his injury, but he didn't play any snaps in game 2. So how much he's going to play, I think, is going to be, a big question. But I'll tell you, guy, everybody who's watching, keep an eye on number 96, Elijah Simmons. The dude is a giant, 334 pounds, but he moves like a 310-pounder. He's an undrafted free agent from Tennessee. And on top of what he might be capable of football-wise, the guy's a great singer, too. Now, we're not going to see that on Saturday, but the guy, people might have seen some of the clips on social media. And, we heard that he was just a standout singing in the rookie show the other night. And after he sang once, everybody cheered and cheered and cheered and asked for an encore. And he got again. But in terms of football, this I don't know if he's got a chance to make the roster because how deep it is on the defensive line, but certainly practice squad could come calling. But then again, here's the thing, guys. If you really like this guy and you like his future, and it's going to be tough to get him on the roster, you might not want to play him too much in the games because you don't want other teams to see him, because if the Cardinals cut him, someone could claim him on waivers. But that's a guy I think definitely to keep an eye on in that defense, on that improving defensive line.
All right, Howard, here we go. Last question. It is time for the one, the only, Howard Balzer's H-Bomb. I can't wait.
Oh my goodness. I didn't realize we're doing that.
Oh, yeah, man.
buddy. Come on, man.
Come on, brother. Here we go.
Preseason.
Yeah, H-Bomb.
I was talking to Roc about that, but, man, and you got the sound done already? I didn't even look at the line.
No, man, we don't mess around. We're like dialed in number one with a bullet. So here we go. NFL favorite team. All right.
Well, you got to do.
Team.
Well, here's the
All
thing.
right,
The H-bomb, which I've done for many, many years, you pick a game where the favorite, there's a favorite of 6.5 points or more. And then you're picking the favorite, you drop the bomb on them to either lose the game outright or not to cover. But I got to make an admission here. I haven't looked. Do you guys have the betting lines in front of you?
I do. I've got the tonight's game, the Colts at the Ravens. It's Colts minus 6.5 is what we got. Minus 6.5. All the others are under that, but minus 6.5. Or you could take a look at all the rest. That's the highest
That's
one.
the highest line.
Yeah, for all.
So that's the only eligible game. That's the only
Broncos. Or the Broncos. Hold on. Broncos at 49ers. That's minus 6.5. So those two. Broncos at Niners 6.5, Denver, or the Colts minus 6.5, that being the Colts in tonight's game.
And so the Colts are favored over the Ravens?
No.
Yeah. No. Indy is favored minus 6.5.
Yeah.
So they're favored and the Broncos are favored. Both of them minus 6.5.
But the Colts are playing the Ravens, right?
Yep.
Well, then I got to. Well, first of all, it's the only game, right? So I don't have any other way I can go with it. But man, I feel pretty good about that because the Colts want to look at their quarterbacks. The Ravens probably aren't going to play too many of their starters, although they hardly ever lose in the preseason. That's maybe it's because the odds makers or people betting it think of the quarterbacks and they don't think Lamar Jackson is going to play very long. And so, but I'll still say that the Ravens will find a way to cover because they still find a way to be competitive. But that's the only game. That's why, be honest, guys, when I've done the H-bomb for almost 3 decades now, I've never done it in the preseason because most of the time the betting lines aren't that high. But there it is, dropping the H-bomb on the Colts.
That is the H-bomb right there.
And I'll be better prepared next week.
We're not worried
Hey, it's
about
preseason, Howard, even for you. We get it. We understand.
That's true. There we go.
We're all warming up, pal. Thank you, Howard, as always. You have a good day, pal.
All right, guys. Take care.
There you go. That's Howard Balzer, everybody. Presented by All City Towing, largest towing company in the state. The place where your career can get a serious boost. And why do I say that? Well, they are hiring. So if you're looking for a new gig, they're looking for dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and they offer up a terrific salary, and they have wonderful benefits as well. Here are just a couple. A 401k with an employer match, paid life insurance, even a monthly fuel allowance. Take the next step. Here's all you have to do. Go on the keyboard and type in allcitytowing.com and search careers. Again, that's allcitytowing.com and search careers. It's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. All right, when we come back, they are throwing objects on the court in WNBA games. Plus, we'll have our Learner and Row one call. That's all. What's on tap? And as we continue, we are here at Twin Peaks in Deer Valley, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM, HD-2.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers bring more air for less money. Rust-free, USA built, backed by over 40 years of cooling expertise. Available now at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, and Northern Tool. For more information, go to staycool-products.com. Stay Cool Products. Form, function, value. Get yours today and beat the heat.
Beat the heat with AC Experts. Is your air conditioning ready for summer? Don't sweat it. Our certified technicians are here to keep your home cool and comfortable. From routine maintenance to emergency repairs, we've got you covered. Enjoy staycations in a perfectly chilled home. For a limited time, take advantage of our special discounts on new AC installations. Call AC Experts today at 480-386-6980 or visit acexpertsaz.com to schedule your appointment. Stay cool, Arizona.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe. We've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Roc is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Construction managers, you prioritize safety with hard hats, gloves, and harnesses, but there's another tool to add to your first aid kits, naloxone. Naloxone reverses an opioid overdose and saves lives. Not only are construction workers at a greater risk of an opioid overdose than people in other occupations, but many overdoses occur in or near job sites. Provide access to naloxone and protect your workers. Together, we can build a safer future. Visit naloxoneaz.com.
Chronic pain doesn't have to control your life. Whether it's back pain, arthritis, or an old injury, you don't have to live in discomfort. Physical therapy can help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence without relying on painkillers or invasive procedures. Through personalized treatments, a physical therapist can target the root causes of pain, improving posture, flexibility, and muscle function. It's time to take control of your health with physical therapy. Visit aptaaz.org and find a physical therapist near you.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
I kind of take it separate entity, so I'm looking forward to watching them go out, play fast, execute, play with good technique, mode of play on display, and that's not just starters, that's everybody.
That is Jonathan Gannon, Cards head football coach. The first exhibition preseason game, it'll be against the Chiefs this Saturday night. It is good enough for our Lerner and Rowe one call. That's all. It is powered by Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck, need a check, just make one call, 602-977-1900. Always at lernerandrowe.com. So here we go with what is on tap tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you NFL preseason
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
We
It's
are
starting.
Yeah. On the NFL Network, coming up at just about 10 minutes from now, the Cleveland Browns and that's tomorrow. That's
Tonight,
not
Jimmy.
tonight.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, I know.
I got it for you.
Yeah, but it says tonight. Those are wrong, Manuch. You told me to read them
No.
the way that they're written.
No.
I was reading it the way they were written.
But I didn't write them, so I got you. So you got the Colts at the Ravens at 4 o'clock tonight on NFL Network.
Yep.
Also tonight, you got the Bengals and Eagles. That is nowhere to be found. Also, you got the Raiders and Seahawks
Correct.
at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
At NFL Network. You can see those here at Twin Peaks.
All right, there you go. So it is the Cleveland Browns and the Carolina Panthers tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, Jimmy.
On NFL Network. Shadur Sanders gets the start on that. All right, that is all presented by the Orangedale Lounge. It's now open just east of the Ice Den. You get updates on Facebook and Instagram. Just follow at OD Scottsdale. That is OD Scottsdale. It is the Orangedale Lounge. Time now. State 48 Roofing. It's your call. Question of the day and the results.
Yeah, for a free quote, repair, or installation, head to state48roofing.com. You can follow them on social media by searching hashtag Sexy Roof Status. Just go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. What are you watching the most in the NFL's first preseason weekend? Is it rookie quarterbacks making their debut? Is it position battles and breakout players? Is it Kyler and the Cardinals versus the Chiefs? Oh, first name basis, are we there? Or just happy football is back? Connor, we defer to you back there at the studio. What have the Pete said as far as the latest It's Your Call question of the day?
Well, not too many people seem to care about K1 and the Chiefs there, guys. So I'll be honest with you. They came in last with 0%. However, 25% said happy football's back. 25% said they're looking for position battles and breakdowns. But really, it seems like majority of the people with 50% are interested in seeing what the rookie quarterbacks look like.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I voted for. Shador and how the
Yeah.
other rookie guys, how they perform as well. All right, Con, we had a double shot of State 4A Roofing. It's Your Call question today. What's the second one you got there, bud?
So our second question has to go back to earlier conversation with ESPN buying out NFL Network, WWE, and some of the other assets. Essentially, that question comes down to, has ESPN sold out when it comes to NFL coverage? There was 3 options. You had either the chance to choose yes, bought and paid for, no, they're still trustworthy, or C, that they're somewhere in the middle. And it looks like 12.5% said somewhere in the middle. 37% said no, still trustworthy, but 50% says yes. It looks like ESPN has sold out.
Which way did you go, Jimmy?
I went in the middle because I'm not sure yet how they're going to handle it. I don't think that they can institute this coming season saying, okay, this is what you will do and this is what you won't do.
All right, Matt.
I think it'll take a little while for that to trickle
All right,
in.
Matt, which way did you go on this one?
I said yes, just because I think it's well on its way to being bought and paid for. Although you can trust it still now, I feel like as it is, things were already going at a very fast pace, and now this just sets the bar even higher. I mean, not much money, a huge deal with NFL Network like that. I feel like at this point now we're getting close to that point.
I did the same thing, but I think this is to be continued to see which way they really go and lean on this. I think a lot of folks will hope to see business as usual.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so NFL Network's not going to change its face. All the platforms on ESPN are going to have their ways. There'll be more games. It's all about the streaming. But for me, I want to see the TV. I'm going to watch it over the TV. I'm not going to watch it on my laptop. I'm not going to watch it on my phone. I'm pretty much, as long as I know where to go find the platforms. But if I start to see or hear that they are sugarcoating this or not discussing this, or not covering these controversial things that include the National Football League, then at that point I'm going to go, you guys have sold out.
It seems like they're on the way there.
Yeah, and
especially with this deal.
I hope not, but I think you're right. It'll be all encompassing.
Yeah.
My next question is, okay, so when is ESPN going to take over all of college football? They've basically taken over all of NFL football. So is their next conquering going to be college football?
Yeah. The only holdout you're going to have is Fox, because they do college games as well.
FS1.
And also NFL games. But what ESPN is doing, they are narrowing that gap to take that property away from Fox so that they control.
Are the walls caving in?
Yes, they
on
are.
FS1 and NBC?
They are.
CBS? Now, again, antitrust violations would never allow that to happen because of the monopoly that has been proven for so many years in certain situations. So for me, it's as long as I know where to go find the games.
Yep.
Where's my sports center? I got my NFL Network. I've got the 3 or 4 platforms I go to on a regular basis. If those things are all covered, I'm good to go. Otherwise, if I start to hear stuff, I'm like, wait a second. Hey, tomorrow, guys, we're going to be at Wright Toyota. Catch up with, speaking of college football Hall of Fame coach Jim Donnan will join us, former Georgia head coach, my offensive coordinator at K-State. Scott Spreitzer, sports handicapper, to have all the breakdown of all the preseason games.
Can't wait.
And then James Jones, former Raider and Green Bay Packer wide receiver, to kind of get his thoughts on preseason and some of the receivers he's looking at this year.
Looking forward to that. As always, once again, that's at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the great staff here at Deer Valley Twin Peaks. Appreciate you. Connor, terrific job. Matt, mediocre at best. But we will be having you again tomorrow at our location in Scottsdale. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. It is ESPN 620 98.7 FM HD2.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.